time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag or run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us.
It's basically at this point. And also turn on guest 3. Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me? This is Going for Two with Beto, and this is our guest star. Introduce yourself.
Desi Lopez.
Yeah, he's right now he's a current draftee of the Green Bay Packers. He just got drafted this year. He's wearing 12. It's not an Aaron Rodgers jersey. He is what position do you play again?
Technically, I'm a DB.
Okay.
But I can also play a little bit of offense, a little bit of wide receiver.
All right, and you're coming out of the Cal State Long Beach football program?
Yes, sir. The real football program that we have here.
Undefeated
Completely
since
real,
93,
undefeated
man.
season.
So how was it being part of an undefeated season last year with Long Beach State?
Oh, it was awesome, man. Our games were like super short, and
That's
like
great.
we never lost a game.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You love to see it. No injuries, no points really.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And it's crazy. Like, you came out from the 5th round, and it was like, nah, you should have been second at least.
I don't know what
The
happened there,
disrespect.
man. I dropped a few rounds, but
Anyway, but yeah, this is Going for Two. This you can listen to us on 22westmedia.com at 88.1 FM HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. Also, we're streaming on the YouTube app, not YouTube app, the YouTube channel of 22West Media. Check us out on there. We also have an app called 22West Media on Google Play Store, or the App Store, or whatever application the store you use to download your apps. So yes, this week has been very interesting for the NFL. First, I want to get this off my chest. The F in SF stands for frauds.
Fraudulent.
For San Francisco 49ers, because damn, they've dropped 3 games now.
what's going on with Brock Purdy, man?
Against 3 teams that they really shouldn't be losing to.
It's crazy.
The Browns, the Vikings, and then who was the last loss to?
It's a good question, actually.
Let's look that up real quick.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
get our facts straight. I mean, the fact is, yes, Cincinnati.
That's right.
So regardless, I'm not saying that Cincinnati's like a bad team, but the way they've been playing is like you definitely should have been beating them. But yeah, and Brock Purdy, I've said it before, Iowa State Cyclones, you don't get good quarterbacks from that school.
What
I've
happened to
said
him,
it.
man? What happened to him? He's just falling off a cliff a little bit?
He actually he played a good defense in the Browns.
True.
He played
That's what happens.
I wouldn't say the Vikings are a good team per se, but like, because especially that Browns game, I was noticing like, damn, he is like intentional grounding. He is just
Under pressure.
seems under pressure.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem comfortable. And I'm like, well, this is what happens when you start losing. And like, I think, I remember this one time, one of my friend's dad, the same Rams fan, that I mentioned before, that I am so annoyed for the Rams, but he did mention a good point that, it's better to like not lose like consistently early on, but like in your career, if like you start like, you go 1-3 instead of going like 4-0, you have more of like, okay, I know how to lose and I don't want to lose again. So now he was like what, 17-0 as a starter or something like that, and now it's like, oh, now he's losing a lot of these games and he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And his team doesn't know what to do, and it's I'm very happy to see this. It is kind of fun to watch. Again, I remember Matty Ice saying that it's the best team in the NFL. I was like,
They were at the time. They were.
by default, yes. By default, yes. But I'm very glad this is happening.
You think the Bengals played well that game? I mean, to
No.
score 31 points
I mean,
against the Niners.
well,
I think they played at least a little bit well to beat that team.
yeah, I think they are playing better now. Joe Mixon had a better game. Joe Burrow looked a little better than he was in the past 4 weeks. Yeah, again, I don't know if you saw last week's episode, but I keep saying this past month that I don't think there's no one in the NFL that's that good, and saying that like, oh, the Chiefs are taking it all this year, the Bengals are taking it all, the Bills are taking it all. There's not like one team I can say for sure, because even the Eagles like about to lose to the Commanders again, in a tough match where it's like you have Sam Howell as the quarterback, like you shouldn't be putting up that much numbers. Granted, Eric Bieniemy's a good OC, but again, there's not that team to be scared of. What do you think, Desi?
I mean, you mentioned the Eagles. I think the
Uh-huh.
Eagles are, with what they did last year,
Yeah,
they're pretty. You can say they're the favorite, but like
Yeah.
there's not, like you said, there's not really a favorite in the NFL right now. But
no, because there's not like that team where it's like
they're
oh,
the
they're
best.
taking it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
they're
in past years
taking
has been the Chiefs. The Bills have been great in the past
Mhm.
years, but like
Jacksonville's been pretty good.
Jacksonville's been pretty good.
They're
yeah.
good too. But also, I mean, my biggest question mark with Jacksonville is that their youth
Yeah.
and just their inexperience and like, I want to say like, not knowing how to like win in the playoffs because they have, but like, they're still a young team where they're gonna have those bumps and humps in the road. So I'm not expecting them to like, oh, just go to the AFC title game this year. Maybe, they've done it once with Blake Bortles. I don't think it's
Blake Bortles.
impossible with Trevor Lawrence now
That's funny.
because, man, the Chiefs also laid an egg.
They did.
No
was
touchdowns.
bad.
You know what's funny? The Raiders had more touchdowns than the Chiefs this past week. And that's-
Wow, that's
Saying a lot
crazy.
because the Raiders'
That's
offense
crazy.
is garbage.
What happened in that game? Did you watch that game?
No.
No.
I had to study, man.
Fair enough.
Russell
Priorities.
went off. He showed benches Russell Wilson.
Vintage.
Vintage Russell Wilson, but then like
Broncos have been good recently. I mean, a little bit better than they have been.
they have, no, but the bar set really low. That like them like scoring a touchdown more than last week is like, oh, we scored 2 field goals last week. Now we scored like 12 points. Wow, we're back.
Let's go. We're scoring again.
I think it's just more so the way they beat Kansas City. If they
Mhm.
would have beat Kansas City,
Mm.
it was like 24-21, you'd be like, okay, it was a close game
Yeah.
throughout, and Broncos had a couple bounces and it went their way. But the fact that they were able to keep them under 10 points and to dominate on both sides of the ball like that, like, this ain't the same Kansas City team that we've seen in previous years. Like, they're struggling and they haven't got it going. Their wide receivers keep dropping passes. Their defense is, 1 week they're good, 1 week they're not good, and it's just like, okay, like, wow, like, this team could get got any week.
You know what the biggest problem with Kansas City is right now?
Take this.
Their OC,
Ooh.
Who is their OC?
not Eric Bieniemy. Not Eric Bieniemy, because a lot of people saying like, Mahomes has the talent, no doubt about it. Andy Reid is, one of the best coaches of the past 15 years. But it's interesting enough how it seems that Washington Commanders have a good offense now all of a sudden, and Sam Howell's not that great of a quarterback, and then the Chiefs are struggling on offense consistently. If it's not like the Bears or like a really bad team, and yeah, Eric Bieniemy was there for pretty much all of Patrick Mahomes' career up until obviously this year. He was there from like, I believe like 2017 to up until last year. They got 2 Super Bowls with him. They're like the highest scoring offense in the league every year with him, despite not having Tyreek Hill, despite sometimes they still had Travis Kelce, but like regardless, like last year, their wide receiving room is kind of the same as last year's. But what's missing, your OC.
You think?
I'll argue they don't have a number 1 wide receiver.
Do you think teams are starting to figure them out a little bit? I mean, over the past few years, you've kind of seen it
Yes,
slowly develop.
a little bit, yes.
I mean, the better defenses. out
Yeah, the
there.
better defenses definitely. I mean, technically speaking, they do run like a version of the West Coast offense, the Chiefs. They got that speedy receiver, or they had a speedy receiver in Tyreek Hill. I'm talking like 2016, 2020,
Yeah.
That's still like what version of the West Coast offense. They had that big tight end that could catch, that can run, and they had the quarterback that can move. Because Tyreek Hill is great in slants because he can move. yes, he can get the deep ball, but he's better utilized when he's doing slants. And same when it came with Sammy Watkins again. I remember when Sammy Watkins was on that team, they put him in position to win, so to make a lot of plays. The only thing that was really missing from that team to be a really great West Coast offense team, because if you think about it, for what Andy Reid was trying to do with the Chiefs or is doing with the Chiefs, he kind of had that same thing with the Eagles. He had the really good quarterback, he had the really good receiver in Terrell Owens. Who was the running back of that Eagles squad? I can't remember.
Westbrook?
Back in the day.
Yeah,
Westbrook.
I think it was that Westbrook, and then I don't know if they had that big tight end, but a lot of it he was trying to replicate that what he did in Philadelphia, and he has been doing it successfully, obviously. But the one big inconsistent thing I always notice with Andy Reid and his Chiefs is that they score fast, and when you score fast, your defense gets gassed, unironically enough.
Yeah.
And they don't really don't necessarily have a lot of time of possession most of the times in their games because they just score at will, which is good, but at the same time it's you don't control the ball and stuff like that happens. Because I remember 2016, that was their biggest problem. In 2017, why they never were able to make it past the AFC wild card or the divisional titles, because they scored too much, they scored too fast and too quickly that they didn't have no time of possession. They couldn't control the ball, and at the end they got booted.
Well, that gives the other team a chance too.
Yeah.
When you have quick drives like that, you score. You don't have momentum really. You just kind of
Exactly.
score and it's over.
Yeah, and one of the main things is because they never had a consistently good running back. If they had Jamal Charles from 2016 to 2020, I would hate watching those teams. But yeah, because I remember Jamal Charles dropped 5 touchdowns in a game
Against
in
the Raiders.
Oakland. And
Oh
it's
my gosh, bro.
hate it here. and then LT as well. It was LT, and then Jamal Charles, and then the Broncos haven't really had that big running back recently. So.
Yeah.
Or the Philip Lindsay.
For that 1 year.
For
that
that
guy,
1
dude.
year.
For that 1 year.
Overhyped. Then Melvin Gordon, when he came onto the team, overhyped. But yeah, it's very interesting the way the Kansas City Chiefs are going right now. I don't think they're not gonna make the playoffs. They are, unless stranger things happen. But I still think they're the division title winners.
Yeah.
Do you think they beat the Dolphins in Germany? That's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning or
Yeah.
something crazy like that. You think they can beat the Dolphins? I mean, we haven't talked about the Dolphins too much, but
No,
you don't think
You
so?
don't think
so.
You think they losing 2 straight?
I think so. I hope so.
I
But-
like the Dolphins actually, but
I think the Dolphins are a really good team as well. Yeah, I think the Dolphins can beat the Chiefs.
I think
and
they can. I just don't think Kansas City's gonna lose 2 straight. I don't think.
you wouldn't
like,
think so, huh? You
yeah,
wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't.
But
I don't know.
But here's the thing, though. Andy Reid is known to his most losses come in November.
really,
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of his losses come in November.
The more you know.
what's going on there, man?
2016,
He's getting ready for Thanksgiving.
2017. He in 2017, I remember he dropped 4 straight in November. He lost to a Jets team that was 3-9. It was bad, and a lot of the times, yeah, or it's either that he starts losing early, or they start losing in November, and then once December hits, they pick it up again, and they in the Super Bowl again. But no, the Chiefs, I hope they lose forever. I hate that team, I really do. That hate runs deep for the Chiefs, because
Yeah.
every other team, I have a special place of hate in my heart for all the AFC West teams. So the Chargers is because they're the local team. They're in SoCal, so I'm in SoCal. I didn't grow up with Chargers fans because there's barely any. But the ones I did, I
It's
got
about
annoyed
3
of them.
of them.
And I always got annoyed that when it was the Raiders still in Oakland and the Chargers still in San Diego. So San Diego is technically the local games. So all the games I got on TV were the Chargers, and I was like, I hate seeing this.
Yeah.
And the Broncos is because when I became a fan or I started really watching football, Peyton Manning was on that team, and it was just, well, don't even watch that game today because it's going to be 47-17.
Yeah.
It's going to be 40 points. Don't even watch that game. And then the Chiefs because, well, they can't beat them. And for me, it's every time when the Raiders have a big game against the Chiefs, they always lose. And I'm like, I hate y'all. I just hate y'all. And I hate their color scheme. I hate the red and the white. I hate the yellow. Like, I've seen, like, that one. There's, like, this one, like, jersey of the Chiefs where it's, like, yellow and red. I'm like, bro, that's a Ronald McDonald suit. You gonna tell me that's drip? Yeah, you're gonna walk out at your house and be like,
too.
yeah, red 15 and a yellow jersey.
Nasty.
That is gross.
Nasty.
And then they're like, their fans annoy me. Their stadium annoys me. I don't drink Arrowhead water because of that.
Wow.
You know,
Wow, that's deep.
crazy.
That's deep.
Like,
That is crazy.
That's
KC,
deep. That's
no.
crazy.
You know what?
Wow.
You know what? Also,
You boycott the Arrowhead.
yeah, boycott Arrowhead water, bro. Trash
That's
water,
wild.
trash stadium.
Wait, what do you drink instead then?
Decide-
Any other water? Just
Any other
just
water.
any other water
Any other
besides
water.
Arrowhead.
Besides Arrowhead, I just can't stand them. And
That's
then,
That's wild.
okay, pardon me. But yes, I think the Chiefs lose this week. I still think they win the division. They've gone so far ahead in the division where it's like they're 6-2, right?
Yeah.
Yep, 6-2.
They're 6-2, so I don't think. It's also kind of like, I'll be honest, the AFC West is kind of bad. It's been bad for a while because everyone's like, oh, then nobody can catch up to the Chiefs now because the rest of the teams are bad. They're inconsistent.
Yeah.
You know, I don't gotta talk about the silver and black team, but you know, someone
Talk
like the
about 'em later.
Chargers. The Chargers, like, if they would have beaten the Chiefs, they really could have gone ahead in the division, but they didn't. The Broncos, well, they split with them now, but even then, all the years where it's like, oh, we got this great defense, we got this, and we got that. You know, yes, you finally beat Patrick Mahomes, but it was like from 2018 to 2022, like
It wasn't happening.
it wasn't happening.
That wasn't happening.
And even when you still had those great defenses, you still weren't doing nothing. And then same with the Raiders as well. With, you know, they didn't beat them in the 2020 season when it was like Sunday night, and it was like, oh, it's a kind of take lead in the division or whatnot. And then 2016 was like take lead in the division, and Thursday night you didn't beat them. So like, unless
Yeah.
you beat them otherwise, then I think Kansas City's the AFC West.
Yeah,
title
the Raiders have. I mean, the Chiefs haven't lost to a division rival twice in a year.
No, and they've never gone negative in the division. So they're always either 4-2, 5-1, 6-0, but they never been below 3-3
Yeah.
or that.
It's impressive.
Yeah, and that's how you win your division, you know,
Mhm.
because
Consistency.
I always say,
Yeah.
then in football there's really only like 9 games you got to win. You sweep your division. I'm not saying like that's like you got to do that, but like if you beat your division opponents at 6-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 other games, preferably in your conference, I feel you got a great shot at making the playoffs.
Not to mention, you probably play at least a few teams that aren't really the best
Yes.
in other conferences.
So you got 2 more games, you got 11 wins, and that's easily you win a division.
But
You
some
know,
teams just cannot find that consistency.
they don't. They
They
can't.
don't beat their division opponents. They don't beat like the teams they should beat.
Yeah, and you know
And-
that's how you get misery.
Misery upon misery.
But then moving on, what would you like to talk about, Dizzy? I know you got the Packer get up going.
Yeah, I mean, they've been struggling, man. That's all there is to it. The Packers have, and so is that whole division, to be honest. Besides the Lions are something else right
Mhm.
now. I know they've been doing well this season, but that whole division I feel like's been struggling. The Vikings last year put up a kind of a fluke season, in my opinion. What are they,
Absolutely.
13, 12 wins, something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
13.
13 wins? I don't know how that works, but nothing
Not
against
with
the
Kirk
Vikings,
Cousins.
but
I mean, it's okay. You can like I unleash my hate on the Kansas City.
No, I
Chiefs,
mean,
like,
yeah.
you can do it.
I'm more of a Bears hater.
Oh, you're
But
Bears hater.
yeah, I'm more of a Bears hater, but Vikings can get them
Kick
in too.
rocks.
They can
How
get
long you been a
kick
Green Bay
rocks.
Packer fan?
Since like 2017, but I didn't start like watching football until like 2018, 2019.
So
No.
you didn't? Did you watch the game? Did you watch the Super Bowl when they won in
Yeah,
2010?
no, I watched it. Yeah, for sure. I was always a fan. I just never like got into it until like 2017, 2018.
I see.
For sure.
But like I've always watched them. I've always had like the jersey and stuff.
For
So
sure.
Dope.
yeah.
Well, we'll continue this after our short little break. Yeah, we'll be right back.
I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't lead trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPS's. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. And it only you can't have, do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the back, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going non-stop, I got something to prove. Playing with us, you gon' definitely lose. Never slow down, cause I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I run away quickly. I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't lead trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPS's. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. And it only you can't have, do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the back, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going non-stop, I got something to prove. Playing with us, you gon' definitely lose. Never slow down, cause I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I run away quickly.
We are back. This is Beto and
Matthew.
and then we're our special guest star, draftee of the Long Beach State University football team and current draft pick of the Green Bay Packers. This is Desi Lopez.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Good to
they,
be
They
here.
call him the Dez on his jersey. It's just Dez, not Des Bryant.
Personalized jersey. No relation to Des Bryant.
Yeah, exactly.
After
Ye-
that catch in the against the
mean
Packers.
That was a
catch?
catch, bro.
Oh.
That was a catch.
You think it was a no catch? I'm happy to say it was no catch. I'm happy to say
that
it
was
was
a
no catch.
catch.
I mean, regardless, Cowboys fans would make some other excuse of why they didn't win that game.
Cowboys fans and excuses? Come on. Come on.
That's
Go
That's
hand
crazy.
in hand.
That's how you tango, man. That's how just
That's how you play the game.
salt and pepper. It goes together very well. Anyway,
Yeah, peanut
last
jelly.
night's game. By the way, you can listen to us on the 22 West Media website at 88.1 FM HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. We also have an app on Apple Store and Google Play. You can listen, and we're streaming on YouTube right now at the 22 West Media channel. So last night was the Titans versus the Steelers, and I gotta say, Mayo Boy is actually really good, and Will Levis, because I don't know if y'all remember, he put a scoop of mayo in a cup of coffee, and he's like, "It's pretty good."
Goofy.
Well, yeah, that's your typical Kentucky quarterback.
That's true enough, dude.
But yeah, he played really well. Believe he was like 246 yards, one interception.
One interception, no
Final
touchdown.
play of the game, though.
Yeah, no final play of the game, that was rough. I mean, if he got that touchdown, they would be talking like, oh yeah, Will Levis is like one of the better like quarterbacks.
Shoot, he
in
had
this
3
draft.
touchdowns in his debut.
Four.
Talking about
Four touchdowns in his
crazy.
debut.
And
That is.
You see Vrabel's like he doesn't know if he's gonna be the starter. He's
Uh-huh.
still like him and Tannehill are still fighting. That's crazy
I don't
to
know.
me.
I don't know what Mike Vrabel's like love for Tannehill is. Tannehill is okay at
Right.
best.
Especially after seeing the way Levis has played the last 2 games. Like, how are you gonna even have that
There's
no
type of
question.
competition?
I'm
First of all,
right?
you pay him
Come on.
$100 million, which you should have paid that to Derrick Henry at the
Mhm.
time.
That's probably why.
And like, it's just like Tannehill is okay at best. Like, he's not that good. Will Levis has been in these past 2 games been better than what Tannehill is
The
right
thing
now.
is about Tannehill is this is the double-edged sword of having a good run. So
That's
run
why
they
he got
had,
paid. Yeah.
the run they had in 2019, they went to the AFC title game with the Chiefs. I remember they beat the Ravens and did they beat the Patriots? The Patriots qualify for the
They
Playoffs?
beat the Patriots the first
Yeah.
round.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Wild
first
card,
round, and then they
yeah.
beat the Ravens, and that's when Lamar Jackson's MVP season was up, and they
Lost to Kansas City.
and then lost to Kansas City, and it was like, at one point it was a close game, but yeah, that's what happens when you have like a good run, and you see like, oh, Ryan Tannehill, like he's cooking, oh, but he's still mid.
Yeah, that run was basically on Derrick Henry's back though.
It
Like,
was.
it was run first
And-
offense, and all you had to do was just
You
don't
can't-
turn over the
you can't
ball.
sustain that either. like-
Exactly, and then this is like the saying of like, catching lightning in a bottle. It's cool to do it unless you like actually win the Super Bowl. So if the Tennessee actually won the Super Bowl that year, then it's like, oh yeah, keep Tannehill, but they didn't. And the next year they lost to the Ravens, and then the next year they haven't made the playoffs since. So Mike Vrabel's job's in jeopardy, to be honest. If he doesn't do anything this year, I think it's done for, because last season he choked away a division title.
Yeah, I think it's just a change that needs to be happening. Like, I'm not mad that you keep Tannehill, but like the fact that you paid him $100 million, when he got like, because it was an injury, right? And Tannehill came in. No, Mariota wasn't playing so well, and
Yeah.
then Tannehill came in and like
Yeah, they traded him
played
from
the rest of the
Dolphins.
way, and like it's like, okay, I'm not mad that you kept him. I was just mad at the fact that like there was a player on that team that needed his money and needed to get paid beforehand,
Mhm.
and like you decided to pay the quarterback, and it's like it's always that saying of like quarterbacks.
It's a quarterback league
Yeah.
now.
I mean, that's got to be why they're even, like, there's even a conversation for him to still be the starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Tannehill?
Yeah,
Because, like,
'cause-
not that he's been, like, the worst quarterback in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, how can you even do that with Will Levis and how he's doing right now?
Exactly, and it's like, again, it's that idea that like Mike Vrabel's probably looking at that like, oh, he brought us to an AFC title game. He brought us to an AFC title game. He's got us like 2 division titles after that, because it was The 2019 season, 2020 they made the playoffs again. 2021 they made the playoffs again. They both got whooped in both times after that. They didn't do much since, and it's like, yeah, like, oh, we're doing something, better than like with Mariota. But Mariota also got you a playoff win, but you didn't keep him. He also the head coach that year got fired too, I believe. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching that Kansas City versus Titans game. I was very salty the Raiders didn't make the playoffs.
So when Mariota threw that pass and then bounced back to him.
And I remember at the end of the game, like these like fans were like trying to cheer up the Chiefs players, and then one of them was like, "Yeah, let's go, man, let's go. Like, where are we going? Home?" I'm like, "Yes, you guys are going home, Chiefs." But regardless, I do think Will Levis has surprised me as a quarterback. I thought he was gonna be like the worst quarterback from this draft. I thought it was gonna be Bryce Young's the best one, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and Will Levis. Now it's
C.J. Stroud.
I would say Will Levis is third and Bryce Young's fourth right now, because look at the record and like they haven't been really good. I'd say Anthony Richardson's impressed me because he's been playing.
He's out for the year now,
but he's just out. And I also feel like again I was saying that Anthony Richardson should have sat for a year, and just kind of learn how to be a quarterback, because I felt like he was still very raw in his play style.
That would be the ideal.
I feel like you can give that to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
A lot of people can sit for a year, but like, I don't know. Coming out of college is hard.
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to play in the NFL.
Like now, for a college quarterback, they're just like, okay, we need you now. Start now, and like we'll just go through the bumps now.
Yeah, you think like that, and that's true for a lot of people. But you look at Jordan Love. I'm not saying he's a bust or that he's not done a lot, but he sat for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
behind Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
That's true.
Sometimes sitting works for you, depending on the player.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it just doesn't pan out. And I'm not saying Jordan Love is not panning out, but it's looking rough.
Ooh,
right
controversy.
It's looking rough right now.
I mean, he did throw 3 picks against the Raiders defense. That's not really good.
Yeah. We don't have to go too deep into the Raiders game because
that cheese, man.
Yeah, the cheese is pretty rotten right now.
Damn.
Speaking about the Raiders, though,
they say there's Christmas miracles. I say this was a Halloween treat. Because on Halloween,
spooky
2023, as I was just thinking about how terrible this team is and all the dumb mistakes and all the crappy decisions and Mark Davis's haircut, I get a text from Matty Ice saying they're fired. I'm like, what do you mean they're fired? Who's fired? Like, and I look on Instagram and Twitter. I'm like refreshing, and then I see this. It was very ominous how they posted. Ominous. There you go.
Ominous.
It's very ominous how they posted this on their Instagram, because it was a white background. They've never had a white background for a post. It's always like a black background with white letters. So they had a white background, and like the brand was just kind of up, and I was like, damn, can I really see this?
Right,
like,
you have to zoom in.
And I zoom in, and it was like, we recently have fired Coach Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, wish their family the best. I was like, this is a Halloween treat.
There's a parade inside my city, yeah.
And I like to think that Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels were with their kids on Halloween night at like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and they got the call like, you guys are done, by the way. I like to think that. Because
so dark,
they've ruined my holidays too. They ruined my my Monday night of like pre-Halloween, which I didn't see that game. I saw that game for one play, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch this anymore. And they've also ruined my my experience of watching the Raiders versus Rams live Thursday night. Watching the Chargers in SoFi with the Raiders last season,
and this season.
And this season, they have ruined my holidays. They ruined my finals week, because that's when the Rams versus Raiders was during finals week, and I just like had to do my finals, and I'm like, man, I should have stayed home.
I think it's safe to say they just ruined your whole NFL season at that point.
Definitely.
Ruining the holidays like that?
The reason why they ruined it is because they went to the Raiders and they were trying to be the Patriots. They literally signed Darren Waller, signed Hunter Renfrow, and then got rid of Darren Waller, and then don't incorporate Hunter Renfrow into the offense. And then you also sign every player that you've coached for the Patriots and sign them to the Raiders, and it's just like, all right, bro, you got some fixation, bro. Like, get over yourself.
Here's my thing about that. Yes, they were trying to bring this Patriot way. I didn't think it was like more of a Patriot way because the Patriot way is Tom Brady. Let's be honest, it really is. You know, if you have a player like that that's just on it each week.
Facts. And you seeing now the way the Patriots are playing, like
they're terrible. And it's just funny enough that the two worst offenses in the entire league are from a Patriot dynasty. You know, or from the Bill Belichick coaching tree, and
Right.
it's like,
Makes you wonder.
yeah, that system is outdated.
yeah.
You know, and what are the best teams right now? Look at how they're doing. Like Dan Campbell and the Lions, you know, they're doing something different. The Eagles with Sirianni, they're doing something different.
Jaguars.
The
Yeah.
Jaguars, even Harbaugh, who's still like an old school coach, but he's like
He
adapting.
adapted, yeah.
He's adapting to the
adapted.
new system, and it's like, yeah, no wonder Harbaugh has lasted this long in the NFL. I believe he's got 10 plus years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Like he's adapted to the NFL. He's adapted to the style of the game, and you know, even Andy Reid as well, because Andy Reid's been in the NFL for 20 years at this point, and he's adapted to the new system. So it doesn't mean like, oh, if you're an old head, you're done for. No, if you gotta adapt to the system, you know.
But Mike Tomlin too.
Mike
the
Tomlin,
Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
the
He's been there
Steelers,
forever,
they've
dude.
been there forever, and they are adapting to the new way.
One thing I would say about the Patriot way is the Raiders social media team. I don't know if you've seen it. Dropped a video right after they got fired.
Yeah, the Raider way.
And they literally tagged it the Raider way, and they had Marshawn Lynch talking about how the Raiders are supposed to be, the commitment to excellence, and how they're rough and gritty. You know what I'm saying?
So rough.
So
tough,
it was just
you know?
like, wow, like even the Raiders organization and Mark Davis specifically knows like that
Yeah.
you lost your way, and we have to get back on track of what the Raiders really are.
Granted, they've lost their way for the past 20 years.
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
this is nothing like, oh, the past year and a half we've
Right, right,
lost
right.
everything. No, it's been lost.
No,
been a
facts.
struggle.
It's been a struggle, and like, you know, you look at teams like the Packers, the Steelers, an asterisk on the Cowboys,
Always.
and the asterisk on the Niners.
Always.
But teams that are consistently good yearly and year out, they always keep their same style of play. What it would like the Packers, they always trying to get that quarterback because the Packers have had great quarterbacks. In the
Literally,
past
they
A
only
long
had
time.
a long time.
what Jordan Love has been the third quarterback in the past
40
15,
years.
40
Yeah.
years. Like that's
And
crazy.
guess what? If they don't like Jordan Love, they're probably going to go out and get another quarterback and say, yeah, this ain't it. Steelers, their rough defenses, their tough defenses hasn't changed since the 70s. Maybe like, you know, the headhunting and, you know, like kind of the dirty plays have
Mhm.
changed, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's still a tough defense
Right.
year in, year out.
Right.
Is that still true that they haven't played a season under 500 under Mike Tomlin?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that like
It's
like
either
a year or
been
two ago.
500 or better.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they've always at least been above or at 500
Uh-huh.
with
Yeah,
Mike
that's,
Tomlin.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And like
And-
that's a credit to their defense, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
That's wild.
it's still that same steel curtain
Yeah.
there. Obviously, it's not the same steel curtain from the 70s, but that identity is still there that, you know the Steelers, you know who they are.
It's consistent.
You know, same with the Niners. They're always going to run a West Coast offense. The Bears are always going to have that 4-6 defense. The Cowboys are always trying to have that, you know, suffocating defense as well and trying to have a high-power offense. But the Raiders have had no identity in the past 20 years. You know, yeah, the 2016 season when they were, like, having a high-powered offense, that still wasn't a Raiders, like, identity. That still wasn't, like, what the Raiders are. The Raiders they're pirates for crying out loud. They're outlaws. They're
Right.
meant to be tough. They're meant
Gritty.
to be rough, gritty.
Right.
The autumn wind is a Raider. Like
The
that-
greatest theme song ever. I don't
Yes.
think any other team has a theme song, just in general. But like,
You know, it's a really dumb theme song. I think the Miami Dolphins one is dumb.
what is
What-
the
yeah,
theme
what is-
song?
We're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins.
What?
Miami Dolphins #1.
That's
What?
And then the San
That's like a kid
Diego
nursing rhyme.
Super Losers. San
Oh yeah. I
Diego
do know that one.
Losers. That's the Chargers one. But no, it's like the Raiders. You know what? As a team, I always I've envied when I was like first watching the NFL.
Mm.
That Legion of Boom Seahawks.
I was just thinking the same thing. The
Because-
Seahawks.
What the Raiders should have been, or what should be, is that the Legion of Boom Seahawks. And I'm not saying, obviously, yeah, you
But
know,
that starts in the draft.
it does.
You
It
know what I'm
really
saying?
does. You know, and not picking a guy who's on an ankle injury from Texas Tech instead of the best defensive tackle in the
Yeah.
draft, or even the best corner from Oregon, Christian Gonzalez. I would have loved to have a Gonzalez jersey. By the way, not a lot of Hispanic last names in the NFL. But yeah, you have to get that identity back. There's a reason why, like, teams, like I said, the Packers, the Steelers, the Niners, Cowboys, like, they've been consistent because they have that identity with them all the time. And now it's the Raiders' way again. I'm gonna see what really is. My biggest thing is that who's this GM gonna be? Because if Mark Davis hires another head coach first, because he really hired Josh McDaniels first and then got Ziegler. That's BS that he hired Ziegler and said, "Oh, we're gonna get Josh McDaniels." Hell no. So I gotta see him hire a GM first. First and foremost, hire a GM. Then get a head coach. My pick is Eric Bieniemy for head coach.
Okay.
That would
Okay.
be-
To that's future talk though. So right now our head coach is they promoted Antonio Pierce and they
And
for
he's
the
from Compton, California.
for the offense
Reppin'.
coordinator have Bo Hedegree. Ooh. And then the general manager is Champ Kelly.
Yes.
More on Antonio Pierce. He was the head coach at head football coach at my high school in Long Beach Poly. Go Jackrabbits for some time there. So, and I don't know if you've seen the introductory press conference and how he brought that energy.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a complete shift in terms of Josh McDaniels, where he's just monotone and he's just
we're really
this
looking
and that.
to be better next week.
Yeah.
I think we didn't make any mistakes. And like Antonio Pierce, he's from LA.
Yeah.
He got that LA accent. I can tell, bro. I was like, that's my guy right there.
That energy is what we need, and that energy and that rough mentality and that fact that, like, we're not gonna take any BS is like that. That's what the Raiders are. Like, we're not just gonna lay down and we're not just gonna just let teams run over us. But he's like, okay, we're gonna, things are changing, but like we're not just gonna stay still. We're gonna push forward and go forward.
Totally agree. But anyway, that's all the time we have for today for Going for Two. Thank you to our future star DB for the Green Bay Packers and Dez. We got myself and Beto, and this is
Matthew,
you
going
can
for two.
always listen to us on the 22 West YouTube channel. We're streaming there live, and next up is Footy Fridays. And Dez is going to make appearance again because that's his show.
I'll be there. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
All right. We'll see
Thank
you
you guys
later.
for having me, man. It's
Of
good to
course.
be on here.
I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag or run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't leave trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPSs. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag or run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. And only you can't have, do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the back, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going Never slow down cause I gotta get to it. I got the time but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't leave trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPSs. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I send the payment to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. And it only you can't half do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the bag, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going non-stop, I got something to prove. Playing with us, you gon' definitely lose. Never slow down, cause I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't leave trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPSs. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. And it only you can't half do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 5. Can't believe it's already episode 5 of Footy Fridays. I'm your host, Zach Durham, co-host Desi Lopez here. And Gonna have a pretty laid back episode. Definitely not as busy as some of the last couple of weeks, but we're gonna get right into it and start talking women's soccer. Obviously, heartbreaking end of the season, losing on penalties by a score 4-1 to UC Irvine. But disregard that. I think it was a really overall positive season. Really young team, and I think we've got a lot to look forward to next year.
I agree, yeah. And watching that game live, we were obviously on the call for that game. It was super sad to see that they could not win that penalty shootout. But you think about their young talent, their young players. We talked about all season. Kana Ukita, just to name a few, Julia Moore, Cherie Cox, obviously, and just those types of young players that just they have a bright future. And It sucks to see the seniors go, but
yeah, I felt really bad for obviously all the seniors. You know, Cassandra Seja, Elisa Laramie, and Aaliyah Caceres all played their last games at the beach. But Caceres, man, I feel for her. Her last kick as a player for the beach was a penalty kick off the post. Can't imagine what was going through her mind, but you know, she played with her heart, and I'm sure she's going to be proud to look back at her playing time at the beach. But, you know, as you mentioned, Ukita, Brooklyn Antonucci, and Zoe Willis, all freshmen on that back line. And then in the midfield, you got Cherie Cox, Julia Moore, and Michaela DeMello, all sophomores. And then to throw Summer Lasky in there, too. Really exciting forward. There's 8 players right there that are freshmen or sophomores, going to be sophomore or juniors next year. So this is a team that's got plenty of talent, and they're going to have this year just added so much experience for them, I think. Especially, you know, they were preseason favorites. I think they expected to win this conference, but I think a season like this under their belts kind of showed them, you know, it's a grind. You know, you can set out all the goals you want. You got to go through and play it, you know.
well, especially looking at that last game, like 0-0 till the final penalty shootout through however long the game ended up being. Like, that's a tough playoff matchup for them, too.
Yeah,
Against
I mean,
Irvine.
Yeah, UCI won the conference last year.
Exactly.
They beat us in the finals 3-0. So it was unfortunate we got matched up and knocked out to the Anteaters 2 years in a row. But they're a tough team. I mean, their defense was solid. The whole game, they were just suffocating us in the midfield. We had no time on the ball. And they played their game plan to perfection.
Yeah, we talked about it on the call. Like, they were very evenly matched in that entire game. Like, they were not giving each other any room to move around, to try to score goals, to try to get into places to even have a chance to score. So it's like, it was a great game to watch, but as a Long Beach player, it's tough to see your season end that way, especially when you think about how close they were in that penalty shootout. They obviously lost 4-1, but
Yeah, you know, I just thought Zora looked a little uncomfortable at the line in the box, you know. Obviously that loss isn't on her at all.
And we mentioned that. We mentioned that during the call. Like, there was a lot of pressure on her throughout the game, not to mention in the penalty shootout to win you guys the game. And
she kept us in the game. I mean, she made some spectacular saves because Irvine was taking shots from distance, you know. So
yeah,
it was a wide variety of shots that she was facing. You know, there were some from set pieces inside the box, and then there were some long shots from 25 yards out that she had to get her fingertips on and push over the bar.
100%.
So it was a good effort in the 110 minutes she played in regulation and extra time, but it's just a completely different game when it goes to penalties. You know, keeping your feet on the line, guessing if you're going to go left, right. I mean, it's a totally different game. That's why I didn't play goalie, man. That's why I like playing midfield and forward.
It's tough, man. It's tough to be a goalie.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah. Any standout games for you during the season? Any recaps you want to point out from the season? I know there were a lot of good games, a lot of tough games for the Beach, but
well, Fullerton was a tough one. Obviously, we lost that one 3-0, but the way they played that, and, you know, I interviewed Ingracia after the Hawaii game, and I asked him, you know, how did you respond after? What did you tell them after a 3-0 loss like that, especially being down a player in the circumstances that it happened? You know, he said his team was the better team on the field at the last 75 minutes of that game. You know, given the circumstances, the way they played and finished that game, obviously they didn't get the result they wanted, but he learned a lot about his team, and I think that was a really important game for them throughout the season. But other than that, I mean, you can go back as far back as beating Harvard 3-2. That was a wild game. Even the Texas game, home opener, game we were ahead in, and the Longhorns scored in the last second to steal the points. But yeah, I'd say that Fullerton game, obviously we didn't win it, but that was like a really defining moment for this team, I think.
I completely agree. And I think Mauricio Ingracias has to be like really, really excited for his team for next season, and for not even next season, but seasons after that as well. Because especially we've talked about the young talent they have, but just their drive to win, and I think he's built a great kind of community among the beach soccer fans and stuff, and everything else.
And he's such a professional. I mean, he knows the game so well, and he knows how to deal with his players, and kind of he knows that the Long Beach community is investing in women's soccer, and the future's bright. Cherry Cox, 13 goals, 4 assists on the season. I think she was top 10 for goals in the entire country.
Yeah, and
she missed 3 games. She probably could have finished with closer to 20 goals.
Oh yeah.
So
and she'll be there for the next 2 years at least, right? Hopefully.
Certainly, yeah. But yeah, to say it again, really positive season. I think, despite not winning the conference, even though we were favorites too. But I think next year it's gonna be really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
It bums me out. We gotta wait another year for more games at George Allen. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be a fun season next year.
You want to go into Premier League?
Yeah, we can move into some Premier League. I don't know if you have any top picks for this week, top games.
Well, we'll get into
interesting matchups for you.
We'll get into the Spurs-Chelsea game in a bit, but let's talk about Newcastle and Arsenal first. Newcastle, obviously one of the most fun teams to watch this year.
That was rough, man. Watching that Arsenal game.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Was it Arsenal that lost? I believe it was.
Yeah, they played they lost to West Ham in the Carabao Cup.
That's right.
So yeah, they're coming off a loss. I don't think they wanted. They didn't care that too much about that game. They had Odegaard on the bench. They had Declan Rice come on to the pitch. I think in the second half. And even Saka didn't start. I don't think it was a game that Arsenal was too worried about. They've got Champions League. You got the FA Cup coming up in a month or two.
You got bigger games to worry about.
Exactly. But yeah, I think this is a really exciting matchup. I think both of these teams, at their best, it's gonna be a duel. I think there's gonna be a lot of goals. Obviously, Newcastle have shown that they can get some clean sheets with that back line. They've got some really big, tough defenders.
Oh yeah.
But this just feels like a 2-2, 3-2, even like a last minute. I see fireworks in this game. I really do.
Yeah.
I think Kieran Trippier is going to make an impact. He's top 3 in assists this year in the Premier League from the right back position. I know he's kind of more of like a right mid, but
no, he can do it all though.
I think it's going to be really important as far as the table. I see you got the table pulled up here. Arsenal sitting right behind Spurs, still unbeaten. So, can Newcastle end their streak?
I obviously I hope they do, but with the way Newcastle's been playing, I think they have a good shot to do it. And that game's at 10:30 a.m. obviously in the United States, or in Pacific time, United States. But I'll be watching that game for sure.
Definitely.
On Saturday.
Is it at Newcastle?
I think I think they're at Newcastle.
St. James's Park.
St. James Park.
That's a cool stadium.
Yeah. I want to go to England, man. I want to watch a Premier League
game. I have a buddy. He was there last season, and he was there for a week. But over the weekend, he saw 3 different games, and he went to – I forgot who Arsenal played, but he's an Arsenal fan. So we went to the Arsenal game first. They played at home. I think they played like Nottingham Forest or something like that. Next day, Chelsea 2, Spurs 2. And that was the game where Tuchel – and
were they Conte?
Tuchel and Conte were fighting after the game. So he was at that game.
That's crazy.
And that was a wild game. That was a really entertaining one to watch.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see that again this year. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get all 3 points.
Yeah.
So he went to that the next day. So Arsenal, Forest, and then Chelsea, Spurs.
Right.
And then the next day flew up to Liverpool to watch them take on, I don't know, I can't remember who. So we went to an Arsenal game, a Chelsea Spurs game, and then a Liverpool game in the span of like 4 days. So we got to plan something out like that.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Going to a bunch of games in England, especially those top teams too.
Yeah.
I want to see them play Arsenal, Spurs.
We got to go to a North London derby. I think that's a must.
Amazing game to watch. But yeah, I think we can start talking about the Spurs Chelsea matchup. We talked about it off camera, but I'm really happy that they've been playing some games that we were able to watch. Because obviously it's a little bit difficult for us to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and watch those games, but. They've been playing some primetime games recently, Spurs have. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to watch them against Chelsea at noon on Monday.
Yeah, Chelsea, we talked about them last week. They're kind of one of those 3, between Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham, those 3 kind of mid-table teams that we expected more of. And all 3 of those teams ended up losing over the weekend. And Chelsea's certainly still trying to find that consistency. We're still going to get their best. You know, they're not going to. They don't like us, man.
No, they don't.
These
Nobody likes us right now.
Well, I mean, this is one of my favorite rivalries in sports.
I agree.
Or at least in the sport. Obviously, the North London Derby is going to be a huge one, but whenever Spurs and Chelsea play, I just always think of the Battle of the Bridge. And we just got to get revenge for that one way or another. But I think the headline really is the return of Pochettino.
Do you think the environment will be different for him?
I think he'll get a warm welcome. There was, I don't know, it was some interview with Big Ange talking about the impact that Pochettino had for the club, because he really is responsible for the culture that, obviously, you can call him Spursy and bottle jobs, but he is responsible for getting Spurs to really almost, they were at the near cusp of the top of Champions League football. I mean, he took them to a final, nearly won a Premier League championship with them, and this is a team that really nobody had any expectations for. And he brought them to the top. Obviously didn't get them over the hump and get them that trophy that they've been wanting. But I think there was talk that there would be a guard of honor, and I don't think there will be, but I will think there will be a warm reception. I think the Spurs fan will open their arms widely for Pochettino, a guy who really changed the culture at that club.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I don't know if the same can really be said for Chelsea. Obviously, they sit in the lower half of the table right now. But, I mean, that's not to say it's his fault. Obviously, Chelsea have had problems in the past. But he'll definitely get a warm welcome, I think. And it'll just be fun to see him back, I think, in my opinion. Obviously, he did a lot, like as you mentioned, for Spurs and their community and their fans. But I'm excited to watch it for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, the way that he's gotten Chelsea to play, it reminds me a lot of how Spurs played back in those, like, 2016, 2017 years with Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, Moussa Dembele. I mean, they've got some guys in that midfield at Chelsea. And when they're clicking, it's when those midfielders are moving into space, rotating the ball, and letting it's kind of crazy to see. Like, every time I see Pochettino on that sideline for Chelsea, it just blows my mind.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, hopefully we can get through. Still unbeaten. Both of those teams, Arsenal and Spurs, and obviously Arsenal going against Newcastle will be a tough matchup, and Spurs going against Chelsea. Both of them are at home. I think that'll be huge for both of them.
Do you think Spurs can get through the month of November unbeaten? Because they have Chelsea this week, but they're going to start getting into some tougher opponents than they have been playing.
Yeah, that's something. A lot of people say they haven't really played too many tough opponents, and I'll argue against that. I mean, I don't know if you want to call Man United tough or not, but they played Liverpool. They still have yet to play some of those other teams like City, West Ham. But the result against Arsenal and even Crystal Palace, I thought that was a really good result. Crystal Palace are a lot better than people think.
Oh, yeah.
Than people realize. Almost had the clean sheet in that one.
That
would have helped our fantasy
starting
team
11 a little bit too.
Yeah, but what's the schedule looking like after this Chelsea game?
I was gonna pull it up right now. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But yeah, they're gonna start getting into some tougher opponents. But yeah, I mean, people like to hate on it. They play Wolves after Chelsea. They play Aston Villa. Then they play City and West Ham.
Ooh.
And then Newcastle. So they have a tough.
Oh yeah,
games
that's a tough stretch
after the Wolves game.
Yeah. To answer your question, I mean, as much as I want to say I do think they'll be unbeaten, I think that's a really tough stretch to come out of unscathed.
Well, in the month of November, they only have 2 more games after this Chelsea game. They only play Wolves and Aston Villa, and then the month of December is where it really gets.
Yeah, December is always tight with fixtures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they have.
I think it's doable. Obviously, I mean, this is the target. You got to take it one game at a time. You can't be looking too far ahead on the list of fixtures. But yeah, I mean, if they can get by Chelsea and look and put in a really good performance that they can build off of and take into their next game against Wolves, because Wolves are a team that I always go into thinking like, oh, we're the better team, we're gonna beat them, but then they put up their like one of the best performances that you'll see out of them in recent.
Oh yeah.
Whether they're in good form or not, they're gonna always give Spurs a tough fight. So
I think you say that about a lot of teams too.
Looking
Especially
forward to
some
that.
of these teams that they're playing. I'm just looking at it right now. In the month of December, in like a week span, they play City, West Ham, and Newcastle.
Yeah.
From December 3rd to the 10th, they have 3 games.
Yeah, that's going to be a really tough stretch, and
a
hopefully
tough
they can stay healthy. So these really in the month of November, you really want to avoid any injuries.
100%.
But
yeah.
kind of quick transition. I want to talk about Manchester United.
I was going to get into that too.
Because man, they are in the mud. Shout out Beto, shout out Maher, but I mean, you guys are I don't know what
man.
you guys want out of your team right now. Is it?
Is it time for Ten Hag to
I believe so.
take a back seat, maybe take a little break from?
Well, everyone wants to say Ronaldo is the problem. Jadon Sancho is part of the problem. Harry Maguire is part of the problem.
How many players can leave, can have problems with the manager, and you still think it's the players? Like, how does that work? You know, obviously,
It baffles me. And what's crazy to me is, Old Trafford they hold it up to be this fortress of home field advantage in the Premier League, and they've just lost back-to-back games 3-0 to Man City and Newcastle. So,
man.
I mean, if I'm a Man United fan, I'm gutted right now, and
Oh.
I'm thinking Ten Hag's got to go. Because what I can see from an outsider's perspective, there's just no culture. With the players aren't clicking. They're not molding into the play style that Ten Hag is trying. There's just no identity. I don't see any identity out of this team right now. And it's definitely concerning, especially when some of your top players like Rashford and Sancho's not even getting any playing time. He's going to be going. But
Yeah, Rashford. People are upset at Rashford right now in the Man United community. I mean, rightfully so. But like, do you think in the next, I don't know, I want to say a few weeks, but do you think they start to focus on the Champions League more, seeing as they're already in the league and they have a shot to get out of that group? Do you think they start to, put a little bit more pressure on those teams rather than the Premier League? 'Cause
that's tough.
It's hard to say that they will, but
That's tough because, I mean, if you're a team like Manchester United with such a big brand, obviously you're going to want to prioritize bigger games such as the
Yeah.
Champions League, given the circumstances. Like, what's their record in the Premier League right now? They've got like 4 or 5 losses already.
yeah, they do.
I don't even think they have a single draw. It's like 4 wins and 5 losses.
Yeah,
So
they're sitting 8th with 5 wins, 5 losses.
5-5. So, I mean, that's mid,
That's really mid.
So you could try to turn it around and put all your eggs in a basket into the Premier League. But like I said, a team with such high expectations, I think you're right in that they should prioritize some of those Champions League games, and especially coming up, they got to play Copenhagen and Galatasaray before the big one against Bayern Munich.
They need wins in those games.
They need to win
wins.
2 of those 3 games.
Yeah,
So
like, big time. And you can't be dropping points to. I mean, no disrespect to Copenhagen or to Galatasaray.
well, they almost dropped points to Copenhagen.
That's what I'm saying.
And
you
they
can't,
did,
You
too.
can't be doing that,
Yeah.
man. Especially with the brand you have as a top team in the world, not even just in England. You can't be dropping points to those teams.
Yeah.
And I don't think I hope they don't actually do that. I mean,
And I
you
think
don't like
that's
to
part
see
of
a team.
why Ten Hag will stick around, is just for
Yeah.
their presence in the Champions League. I think if they go down to Europa League and they're still struggling in the Premier League, he's canned.
Oh yeah.
Whereas if they can squeak by, get second in their Champions League group behind Bayern, and still be kind of floating mid-table in the Premier League, then they'll have him stick around, maybe give him some players to buy in the January window. But I would be very concerned if I'm a Man United fan right now as far as the direction of this team.
Well, because you think about the team, and it's not really like a quality issue for them. Like, they have the quality to win
no,
games.
100%.
They have, they have great players. They have players that have been consistent for a long time. So, it's tough to say what they're going to do, how they're going to keep going. But
I want to get Carlos's opinion on this. Carlos, do you have any thoughts on the Manchester United controversy going around the club?
Honestly, the only thing I've seen about Manchester United has been their coach, how they're 8-15, and how they might have to let him go, and how they have a history of, a recent history of getting a good coach, but once he arrives to Manchester United, it just kind of goes downhill almost. Like the reputation that they had is no longer there. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
No, I agree with you there. I think when they bring in a new manager, they have so many high expectations for him, and it's not easy to live up to that. And especially Ten Hag. I mean, he came from Ajax, right?
yeah. I think he
So
did.
playing in the Dutch league compared to the Premier League is completely different. And obviously players or coaches have done it before where they go from one league to another, especially the Premier League, and they thrive. I mean, look at Postecoglou
Yeah.
coming from the Scottish league.
And he's-
It's a lot more similar to
Yeah.
the style of play in the Premier League. Obviously in the Netherlands, a little more slow and possession based, but
Yeah, I agree. And, like, when you think about his impact on the team, and, like, what do the players think about him? Did you hear what Scott McTominay, one of the defensive midfielders,
No.
he said he has complete confidence in Ten Hag moving forward.
well,
And obviously that's what you want to see.
mhm.
But I mean, are they just saying that to?
Well, I think he's one of those players that's thriving under
Yeah.
Ten Hag. He's having a really good season, and we weren't really seeing that a lot when they were under Mourinho or Ollie.
Yeah.
McTominay has been there, but he's playing some of the best ball of his life. So I think it makes sense that he's sticking up for Ten Hag.
Oh,
but
yeah, 100%.
some of the other players may not disagree
Well,
or may
yeah.
not agree.
Especially when you think about the injuries that they've had. On
Yeah,
their
they've been
team.
dealing with a
They've
lot.
Been dealing with a lot, and
Wan-Bissaka's still out.
yep, Casemiro's going to be out for a while.
Yeah. Well, let's be
He's
fair.
struggling.
Casemiro's
He's
had an
struggling,
up and
but-
down season.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's still a big loss,
Yeah.
regardless of form. But yeah, it's looking rough for United, but
Do you want to go into Champions League now that we kind of prioritize? We said
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
we
should
can-
prioritize it.
yeah,
Um,
we'll get into this.
Interruption. Sorry. Breaking news in the MLS: Chicharito and LA Galaxy have just parted ways.
Ooh,
Right
okay.
now,
Thank you,
for
Carlos.
4
That is
years.
spicy.
We'll get into some
Right
MLS
here.
talk later with that little news
Yeah.
segment.
We'll have Carlos keep researching as Desi said. We're gonna get into some MLS, but that is
That's very
Jeez, wow,
interesting.
dude.
He's a favorite over there.
talk
That's
about a
wild.
Woj. That's like what's gonna be our version of Woj bombs for Carlos? Carlos
yeah,
just
Carlos
dropped
is our-
his version of a
Carlos is
Woj
our guy.
bomb. What are we gonna call it?
Let's see. Yeah, we got to think of a name.
All right.
We'll get back
That's
to that.
pending. We'll stay
yeah,
tuned.
we'll get back to that.
You know what we
But
also
yeah.
forgot? We forgot the cards, man.
Oh man, we'll get those.
Yeah.
We're gonna get.
We're
some,
working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yellow and red cards for this show.
But
moving forward.
yeah, Champions League. So I'm really excited. This is the time of the final 3 match days where it's like, okay, now we're starting to figure out
Who's who?
if this team wins,
Yep.
they're in. If this team loses, they're gonna need to win out.
Well, yeah,
So
that's what I was looking at earlier. Is obviously the group of death
mhm.
is something to keep an eye on just for the rest of the group stage.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
when you think about like the other teams, obviously Real Madrid are going to advance from their group. Napoli looking like they're going to advance as well from Group C.
mhm.
But Sociedad and Inter looking like they're going to advance.
See,
There's
that's my
some-
sleeper group right there.
Yeah, there's some groups like that are just. It's tough to say.
Yeah, I think Sociedad and Inter, I mean, they're right there next to each other. Sociedad's got them edged on goal differential. I think Inter is the better team, but don't sleep on Salzburg. And surprising to me is Benfica's 0-3 in that group. That still blows my mind.
That's
But
wild.
I think mathematically they're still technically in it.
Benfica.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they win out and Inter
That's a.
lose 2 and draw
That's a
1,
tough-
I think they're mathematically still in it. So you never know.
You
but
never know.
that was the group that I was eyeballing as like the mini group of death.
Yeah.
Obviously, PSG, Dortmund, Milan, and
Newcastle.
Newcastle is much bigger. So we got PSG and Milan. I think that's going to be an exciting one. They just
yeah.
played last time, right?
Yeah, because PSG was sitting at the bottom of their group, I believe, either 4th or 3rd in their group.
Yeah.
And now they're sitting at the top with the most points. So it's,
Yeah,
it's
I mean, you forget how much of an impact Mbappe can be. I mean, he single-handedly can put a stamp on the game
100%. I completely
just
agree.
with his pace. I mean, he doesn't even need to score a goal. He can just use his pace to
Oh,
run
yeah.
past everyone and get an assist.
Yeah, he's something else. But I think when you think about how much adversity he's gone through with the players coming in and out of the team, all the talks about him going to Real Madrid, it's the fact that he's kept the quality of what he can do. It's good to see from him, and I'm excited to see what PSG can do in that group. But
They got Milan, and I said Milan. I never decided who I thought would top the group, but I said
Milan
Milan
would be
and Newcastle
would advance.
and right now Newcastle's 3rd, Milan's 4th.
I think
so.
you put PSG to miss out on that group.
I
didn't you?
did, yeah. I had PSG getting 3rd.
That's right.
I mean, it's still possible.
No, it is still possible.
But yeah, I
Yes.
think the bigger game is Newcastle versus Dortmund. So they each have really big games coming up. Dortmund's got Bayern Munich tomorrow,
That'll be fun.
and then Newcastle's got Arsenal. And then on the flip side, they got to turn around and face each other
in the Champions
in the
League.
Champions League. So
nonetheless.
both of those teams got really busy
yeah.
week coming up.
Yeah, and even when you talk about busy too, Group B, Arsenal playing Sevilla. I mentioned this I think last week, but can you imagine if Arsenal miss out on that group that has not that they're bad teams, but Eindhoven, I think that's from the
That's
Dutch
Dutch.
League,
Yeah, they're Dutch.
League. Sevilla, who've obviously struggled in the La Liga this last year and the year before, and then Lens from France. And again, that's not.
They've
not
been
to
a
say they're
surprising
bad
team. They're
teams.
unbeaten. No, Lens
Yeah.
are unbeaten. I mean, they've got a
Exactly.
win and 2 draws, and they've got some really. What's that striker's name? It's killing me that I can't think of it right now. They've got
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it. I know who you're talking about though. Openda.
Openda.
Openda. That's
That
his name.
guy is something else, man.
Man, once I get more into FIFA this year, I'm he'll be one of the first guys that I get.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely the favorites to come out of that group. But if you lose to Sevilla this week and you got 2 wins and 2 losses after 4 games, you start scratching your heads a little bit.
Yeah.
They'd still be depending on what Lens do against PSV, they could jump them. But
I think Arsenal. I mean, I don't want to hope that they're going to miss out on the group, but
outside of that, I mean, Man City and Barcelona still undefeated. Feyenoord at the top of their group. I think that's interesting.
That is
Ahead of
interesting,
Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. Celtic gave Atletico Madrid a run for their money.
that was fun.
Really entertaining 2-2 draw. I don't know what it is with Atletico Madrid. I mean, they're so talented. Diego Simeone's done it. You know what I mean? He's been at the top of Europe before. But they just can't. I don't know what it is. Like, I know they have an identity, and it's very defensive and counterattack. They just
just
I just
struggle.
don't know what it is.
They
It's
just
it's a
struggle.
consistency thing
Yeah.
with because they bring. I just don't know what it is. It baffles me.
I don't know, man. They've always been impressive to me, and I've always loved watching them in the La Liga.
Mm-hmm.
Even back in the old days when Griezmann was first starting out there and he was first, lighting the world on fire. It's rough. I mean, the Champions League too. The pressure you have, you always have to consider that. But against a team like Celtic in that group,
Yeah, I mean, you could compare. Obviously, I think Man United is a bigger overall brand than Atletico Madrid, but Atletico Madrid is a team that, not only are we going to compete in Spain, we're looking up at Barcelona and Real Madrid, but we also want to compete in the Champions League.
yeah.
So they're trying to balance both, and I think that's part of why it's hard to stay consistent as far as 'cause they're just playing really tough teams, and I think Simeone has a vision of what he wants to do based off of his previous success. And to be honest, I think at times his tactics can be a little outdated. And I think Celtic showed that. I think Celtic exposed that by the way, the intensity and the physicality and the speed that they played with. Yeah, I think they just really exposed Atletico Madrid.
yeah, and it's tough to see that too, because obviously I mentioned Atletico Madrid are fun to watch. But
Yeah.
speaking of them, I think they're playing right now.
Yeah,
They're
Las
playing in the La
Palmas.
Liga right
They're
now.
playing Las Palmas.
They're 0-0 at the moment, but have to keep an eye on that game
Certainly.
towards the end of the show.
But yeah, is there any before we break off of Champions League? Do you have any hot takes as far as
I mean, I
who
mentioned
may or
it,
may not get
I
eliminated?
mentioned it before. I think depending on how the game Arsenal-Sevilla, depending on how that game goes, I think Arsenal might just miss out on their group.
Really?
And
That
yeah,
is a
not
hot take,
advance.
and that's
It-
not just the Spurs fan talking.
not
That's
just the
being
Spurs
honest.
fan. Yeah, if I was
Okay.
any other fan, I might say the same thing.
Okay,
But
that
I'm
is a
not-
hot take.
I'm not hoping, but I think Lens are impressive. We've seen Sevilla can jump up a little bit, beat Arsenal, give them another loss, give Sevilla a win. It'll look a little bit different. if
It's
they
a
can-
tough
if
group
they
for
can take
sure.
That win, yeah.
Really
100%,
underrated.
100%.
I'm just looking at some of the ratings for the Champions League. Gabriel Martinelli is averaging at 8.7
Yeah. We gotta
in 3 Champions League games. That's pretty nuts.
get him in the starting 11 one of these weeks.
Certainly.
Very impressive.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take a quick break. That kind of wraps up the Champions League talk. But we're going to take a quick break, and then out of the break, we're going to talk MLS. Playoffs are still underway. Liga MX, Mexican League. We got one more week left, and then we'll break into segments. So don't go anywhere. Footy Fridays. We'll be right back, guys. All right, and we are back with Footy Fridays. Zach Durham, Desi Lopez. Desi, do you want to? I'll let you pick. Do you want to do MLS or Mexico first?
Let's do MLS.
MLS.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.
Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, we are moving into our second leg of the playoffs right now. First leg happened this past weekend. And, yeah, there were some interesting matchups, interesting games, interesting scorelines. Were that interesting for you? I know we talked about LAFC a little bit. 5-2 over Vancouver Whitecaps. That was a very interesting game. And then some interesting upsets, I want to say. Sporting beat St. Louis City 4-1 in the first leg.
I wanted to ask you, I think that was kind of the one I wanted to talk about, because we talked about last week how good St. Louis City have done. And this is their first year as an expansion team,
Yes,
right?
it
So in their
is.
first year as an expansion team, they got first place. And they got really unfortunate being drawn up against a team like Sporting Kansas City, who's kind of had success in the MLS Cup in recent years.
100%.
So, yeah, they beat them 4-1, and I think that's a tough hole to climb out of. So they have to win the next two?
Yeah, they have to beat them. I think they play each other Sunday, and they got to beat them then, and they got to beat them again.
Yeah.
That's the three-game playoff series we were talking about last week. And, yeah, I mean, it just gives them another chance, honestly, instead of it being just 2 legs or even just one game.
So before it would be 2 legs and then an aggregate score, and then if it's still tied, they'd go to overtime.
I don't know if I'm wrong here. Maybe Carlos can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it used to be just one game to move on to the playoffs in the MLS.
For the MLS Cup?
Yeah, I believe so. It was a one and done, and then they move on to the next round.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So this three-game format is gonna. I mean, we talked about it obviously a lot last week. But
Yeah.
It gives St. Louis City just another 2 games to turn it around.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if they can pull off that win in the second one, you got the momentum going into Game 3.
Yeah.
And would it be at home? I'm assuming it'd be at home, right?
Yeah,
if they're the
'cause
higher seed.
Depending on where they play the first game, because I know LAFC was the higher seed and they played at home the first
Yeah.
game.
So they got to go to Kansas City and beat them there. So
Yeah.
that's a little tougher then.
It's a little tougher.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some other good games. Orlando City and Nashville is one that I wanted to keep my eye on last week.
Mhm.
They
You did
won
mention that.
1-0. I think Orlando City is going to
Walker
advance.
Zimmerman.
Yeah, yes indeed. Walker Zimmerman, American international. But then Seattle Sounders 2-0 over FC Dallas. That was a good
surprising
one.
Well,
Yeah.
not surprising, but I think I could see that being an entertaining game.
Oh, yeah.
One I wish I watched.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Seattle Sounders are always fun. And then Atlanta United lost 2-0 to Columbus.
Really?
And I don't think Thiago Almada was playing in that game.
Is it because he was serving a suspension
I think
for the
he
red
was serving
card?
the
Yeah.
suspension for the red card. He was. And so we'll see how they fare in the second game. But there's some interesting news we heard from Carlos earlier concerning a certain Mexican international from LA Galaxy. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that, Zach, and Carlos, too, if you guys have any thoughts on Chicharito.
Yeah, I mean, really quickly, Chicharito is just one of those guys off, you'll always I'll always remember him, not just for his name, but some of the moments he's had for, Manchester United, LA Galaxy. Really, LA Galaxy, I think, is where he kind of started to revive his career almost, I think.
I agree.
I think, I don't know too much about how many games he played over here compared to how many games he played in England, but
No,
I think his
success.
time here, he kind of found the joy of playing.
Oh, yeah. And that's why it's such a surprise that he's getting let go.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously he's dealt with injuries, but I think it wasn't this last season, but the season before, he led the team in goals. He was their top scorer. So, it's just crazy to me. And he's a popular player in MLS. And not even just in
definitely.
MLS, but just in the world. Probably the most famous Mexican international player.
Do we think he's going to stay in America, or is he going to go play in
I
Mexico or
would
back to
assume
Europe?
he's going back to Mexico
Mhm.
just to play in his home country. That's just what I would do personally.
Do you know where his hometown is?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Carlos, do you think you can get that to us?
But, it's sad to see him
he's
go.
Obviously he's from Mexico. He's from Guadalajara, Mexico.
So
Okay,
Chivas,
Chivas,
dude. If
wow.
he goes to Chivas, that would be sweet.
I would see him in a Chivas uniform.
I'm sure you would love
That
to
would
see Chicharito
That'd be wild, yeah.
playing for your boys.
Yeah.
But, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, sad to see him go, but hopefully, yeah, I think that'd be a really cool story if he goes back home,
Oh, yeah.
plays for Chivas.
Really, really
I don't
cool
know if
story.
that may not be his boyhood club.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just assuming it is.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's not, it would still be fun to see him play in that uniform.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, he would look good in that uniform.
oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, and some other big news before we get into the Mexican League. Not news, but a rumor that Luis Suarez is coming to Inter Miami. I know that's, obviously separate since we're talking about MLS Cup playoffs, but Just in the offseason, we'll probably get into that a little bit more.
Well, there was a rumor within the last year that it was going to happen, right? He was
Yeah.
going to come over.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like a health issue or just like failed contracts, legalities, or
Mhm.
I think it'd be really interesting. And I think obviously David Beckham's going to try to make it happen.
Interesting is a word for sure. That would be wild to see him in the team with Messi again.
Messi, Jordi Alba,
Busquets.
and Suarez tearing up the MLS as if it's like a 14U team going up against, you know.
All we need is Messi. Or sorry, not all we need is Neymar now in a
Oh.
year after he comes back from injury.
Rough,
Can you
man.
imagine
Did you
that?
see, kind of off topic, but did you see Al Nassar, whatever how you pronounce it?
Mhm.
They posted an Instagram post saying like, "Oh, wishing you a speedy recovery for Neymar," but they used the absolute worst photo. It was like him the moment he tore his ACL, and he's like on the ground holding his knee, like screaming out, crying. Like it was
my
like the
God.
worst picture to use because you can see him in immense pain, and
Yeah.
it was wild that they chose that photo.
That's sad, man.
But then again, he probably got paid $500,000
Yeah.
just to be tagged in
Yeah.
that photo. So
That's
he's
true,
probably
yeah.
living fine. But
he's probably happy.
yeah,
about that.
Suarez to Miami would be really cool. And like I said, Beckham's going to make it happen, especially considering there was rumors that Messi was going to go back to Barcelona on loan. I think this just puts that in the water.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
hopefully
yeah.
it can happen. I think it'd be really, really good for entertainment purposes in
Oh,
the
yeah.
MLS. It'll increase viewership.
I
But
think Inter Miami are in for a very interesting season. Not
Mhm.
to mention Suarez coming into the team. But that can transition us into a little discussion about the Mexican League before we get into our segments.
we'll get into it. I've got a bone to pick with a couple Mexican League players.
Okay. We'll get into that. But yeah, there's I think a week left of this first season, and there's one matchup that I've been keeping an eye on, at least these past few days, and that is America versus Tijuana.
Yeah, that's going to be tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah. So
Tomorrow
that'll be
night.
fun.
I didn't realize Tijuana's in 5th place
Yeah,
now.
they're doing well.
They
They're
climbed
doing
up,
really
and
well.
Monterrey climbed the table too. You
Yes,
know,
they did.
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago we were sitting here looking at the standings, and Monterrey was in 10th place.
Yep.
They find themselves in 3rd. I mean, they just kept on winning,
Yeah.
getting really good results. But Chivas are still hanging up there. Pumas have kind of dropped off a little bit. They're losing 2 of their last, losing 2 and drawing in their last 3.
Yeah, it's
Kind of
kind of up and
fluctuating,
down.
yeah.
Kind of up and down for a lot of these teams.
But I think that's what you expect out of this league.
yeah, and that's what you always hope to see. I think in a league like that, where there's not one. I mean, there is a top team in the league. It's America, but there's not
Mhm.
like a top team that's just dominating like every single game. Besides America, obviously, and you just see a lot of teams that kind of fluctuate that are competitive teams. But I said it last week. I'm gonna say it every single week until they lose. I want to see America lose a game, and to Tijuana
still haven't-
would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, they still haven't lost since August.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, they're a
Just-
tough team.
I
They
wanna see 'em lose.
they almost dropped points to Santos
Yeah,
a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
That was a really entertaining game,
Man.
but yeah, and then so I
And you're-
always need you to remind me how the playoffs work because I see 10 teams make the playoffs, but the top 2 get a the bottom 4 play for the 7th and 8th spot,
That's
right?
right.
That's
yes,
what it is.
That's right.
So
yeah.
top 6 are guaranteed.
Mhm.
So, because I'm the reason I ask is because a lot of my coworkers are either Chivas or Pumas fans, but the Pumas fan is saying like, no, we need to get 6th place. Like, I don't want to.
Because they don't want to
Yeah,
play
if
that
we-
game.
They don't want to play that extra game.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
it makes perfect sense. Right now they're in 7th, so
Yeah.
they would play. The season ended today. They'd play Mazatlan.
not
I think that's a team they would beat.
Yeah,
But
not a terrible team, but look at their record: 5-6 on wins and losses.
well, I mean,
4
Pumas were in
draws.
3rd place like a week ago. And now they find themselves in 7th. Like we said, the table's just fluctuating. But
Yeah.
I'll say it again: this is a league that's kind of unpredictable as far
Yes.
as
It is 100%.
who's gonna stay consistent.
And
But
when you think about unpredictability, how about those players that you mentioned earlier?
Ugh.
The players you had a bone to pick with.
yeah, I guess
few
we
red
can
cards
kind of.
involved.
I guess we can transition into starting 11 with that. So we were gonna shatter our starting 11 record. I mean, I'm gonna pull it up right now. We were getting top perform. It all started with Vicario last episode when
Yep.
he
He was-
almost had the clean sheet against Palace, but even though he gave up a goal, it really wasn't his fault that he gave up the goal. It was more on Pedro Porro. He scored a 7, and we also had Alex Garcia score an 8 against Celta Vigo. So after last week's episode, we walked out of the studio up
Happy.
15 points.
Yep.
Stoked. Harry Kane, hat
10.
trick, perfect 10 the next day, first 10 of the season.
We didn't even have a player under 7.
No.
Under 7 points.
7 Vicario was our lowest scorer.
Yep.
But then here comes Cesar Huerta, and Maximiliano Meza. Both of them got red cards in their respective games and just absolutely wiped away our chances of breaking our record.
I think you put 3.2 and a 3.0.
Huerta with a 3 and then Meza with a 3.2.
That was just so sad.
I thought it was a joke when I saw that.
Not
because
to mention Jeremy Doku didn't even play.
Doku didn't even play.
He got in the game, but it wasn't.
He got subbed in the 87th minute, and I think his final score was a 6.6. So we could have included that. So 6.6 plus 68. So we finished with a 74.6. That's like an average of 6.2.
Yeah.
Not nearly where we want that.
Oh, no.
Like I said, man, Meza and Huerta.
We've been close.
And I have been talking a lot about Huerta all season, not just on this show, but with some of my coworkers that are Pumas fans. The one time we pick him, he let us down. Man. So, hard to.
America,
and I really wanted to take him out and just put in new players, but I couldn't do that.
No, yeah,
we don't cheat here.
Once we get into a groove where we don't have 2 red cards and one starting 11.
Yeah, I think it's positive to see our selection for defense has improved immensely. And, we had that really bad week, and we were like, okay, we got to start picking our defenders a little more carefully.
Yeah, 2 7.5, 7.1 from Acerbi is pretty solid.
Yeah, so I'll just get right into it. We're gonna keep the same formation as last week, 3-4-3. In goal, we got Ederson for Man City against Bournemouth. I mean, he's always going to be a top performer.
Yeah.
And then team against Bournemouth, or it's going up against a team like Bournemouth.
Facing relegation this season, too.
Yeah, I mean, they have a win at least. I think Sheffield's the only team without a win in the Premier League. Bournemouth have 1 or 2, but so Ederson in goal. Expect a 7 or an 8 out of him.
Hoping for that.
And then, do you want to go into our defenders?
Yeah, for our defenders, we got 3 today for obviously the 3-4-3. Ryan Hollingshead for LAFC versus the Vancouver Whitecaps. Hoping for them to just go scoreless, or the Whitecaps to go scoreless in that game. Hopefully Hollingshead can give us at least a 7, 7.5, something like that from the defense. And then I tossed in Sergio Ramos for Sevilla versus Arsenal in the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's a interesting one to watch.
He always shows up in big games.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I will say this now. He has had a tendency to get carded.
Yeah.
Let's hope he doesn't get a red. I can see him getting a yellow. I'm going to say it right now. I can totally see him getting a yellow card in that game.
I think he's going to perform.
I think he will perform, and he can score goals too. People forget that he's a threat in the box.
Oh yeah, 100%. That'll be fun. Keep an eye on him. And then to finish out our defense, we have Hakimi for PSG versus AC Milan in the Champions League. And I just feel like he's a points machine, and I feel like he can do it all. He's not even just a defender. If he gets up and scores, it's more points for us.
Yeah, he's like a true wingback. I mean, he's going to be going up against Teo Hernandez on that side of the field, but
not to mention
pace is there. But as far as creativity and passing ability, I'm going to have to give Hakimi the edge there.
Oh yeah,
so
he's been good for PSG so far. So that takes
then,
us to our midfield. You want to bring?
Yeah, I really like this midfield. Stanislav Lobotka for Napoli. His nickname that he's kind of earned over there at Napoli is Robotka, because this dude's just a robot in the midfield. Man. They're taking on Salernitana. Douglas Luiz for Aston Villa against Forest. That dude's been putting in really good performances all season.
He's one of the top players for Villa this
season. Yeah, he's more of a defensive mid, but he will get involved, and he's gotten a few assists on the year across all their competitions.
I like him against Forest too.
One of my favorite players. We talked about him on the episode 2 weeks ago. Jamal Musiala.
I had to toss him in there.
Yeah, La Jolla, the gem. So they take on Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, Bayern Munich. They're taking on. So that's going to be the Galatasaray game, or do we want them tomorrow versus?
We can do tomorrow versus Dortmund.
So tomorrow their Klassiker, Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. We have them listed against Galatasaray, but I think Musiala is going to make an impact in that game against Dortmund tomorrow. So
for sure.
We'll see what he does against Dortmund tomorrow, and then to round out our midfield, Facundo Torres for Orlando City against Nashville.
He's been one of their best players this year.
Is he attacking box to box?
I believe he's an attacking midfielder, if not like a left wing or right wing or something like that. So he'll be a force to be reckoned with, I think.
And then 3 forwards. One of my favorites, obviously Heung-min Son. He's always gonna put in a good performance.
Yeah, got to throw in a Tottenham guy for Chelsea for that Chelsea game.
Yeah, and then we talked about Jared Bowen last week after we were watching the Carabao Cup game between West Ham and Arsenal, and Jared Bowen has just been spectacular all season for the Hammers.
Fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch.
So we got him in there, and then tell me about Carlos Gonzalez for Tijuana.
Yeah, he's been one of their best players, top scorer I think on the team for Tijuana, and I want to see him score at least a goal, maybe 2 goals, goal and an assist, something like that against America. I feel like I have a bone to pick against America at this point. I've been saying it every single week. It's bad, but
we're gonna see it happen.
I just want him to score.
Well, we did pick Brunetta
That's true. Yeah,
against America,
that's
and
true.
he put in a good performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, man, hopefully just no cards.
Yeah, no,
That would be
yeah,
nice.
That would be nice.
But yeah, let's go into kit check really quick. Briefly before we wrap up the show with stoppage time, we got a few questions.
Yeah, this will be a fun one for me. I haven't seen any of these kits yet.
That's true. Yeah, I
So,
picked all these kits
yeah,
myself.
Zach has these
Desi
kits going.
doesn't know what they're gonna look like yet. But yeah, up
There's
on the
one
board
screen
already.
there already, yeah.
Venezia. Those are older kits. I think those are from 20.
Oh, those are nice.
2021, 2022, but we talked about Venezia, their director of business operations,
Right.
going to Athens Calithia, but this is the work that they put in before when they were at Venezia.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like the color scheme.
Yeah, any Kappa kit's gonna look nice, but I just like the color, the way the crest looks on it, the collar. I mean, everything comes together really nice on that
100%,
jersey.
That's really nice. Good pick there.
And then I would go, the Nigeria one,
Interesting.
1994
Okay.
throwback. I believe that's. I mean,
Oh,
I keep
love
seeing the
a-
Okocha one.
I love a collar, dude. I
Yeah.
love an old school collar.
Nigeria is always going to have nice kits. I wanted to put the 2018 World Cup ones,
Oh yeah.
but then I saw those. I'm like, these are a lot better.
Oh, 100%.
I
Yeah,
really
those
like
are really
those.
nice. Those are really nice. The green is pretty cool too.
And then
Yeah.
my personal favorites of all
I
time.
saw this on the top there. The
Boom.
old school. I remember looking at those a while ago. The old school.
1991 FA
Yep.
Cup final
Super
Spurs
nice,
jersey.
man.
I just like that collar, the retro logo with the FA Cup
Oh,
1991 under it.
Man, that's a really nice kit. That's a really, really nice kit.
Yeah, I might have to
Invest
find.
in one
Yeah,
of
I'm
those.
gonna have to invest in one of those for sure.
100%. Yeah, that's super nice. Good picks today.
Yeah, not as many as last week, but just 3 nice jerseys. I really liked all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Kind of a good variety.
Yeah, really good variety.
But yeah, it's going to stoppage time. We finally have a decent amount of
Yeah,
time.
we have some time to spare
Gotta-
here towards
yeah.
the end.
So
I'm
let's go. Let me just jump right in. Who do you think wins tomorrow between Dortmund and Bayern Munich?
well, it's hard to go against our boy Harry Kane. Not
Yeah.
our boy anymore, but our former boy Harry Kane. But I think Dortmund take it.
Yeah,
I think Dortmund take it. I think they have quality right now. They're playing well.
they're in better form. I think technically in better form than Bayern Munich.
Exactly. I think they've won 4 in their last 5 games.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well,
So
Bayern's coming off that loss to Saarbrücken
Exactly,
in the
so-
DFK Pokal.
I think Dortmund can take it. I want to say it's a high-scoring game. I think Harry Kane will score a goal, but I think Dortmund will take it 2-1.
2-1. Okay. I could see this being a draw. It's just these two teams always play tough against each other. I always think about the 2013 Champions League final
I agree.
and how chaotic that game was. So I'm expecting nothing short of that. So
Oh yeah.
it'll be interesting. But yeah, watch out for Jamal Musiala.
Musiala, man.
Musiala is going to put in a performance.
Our guy, yeah. Our whole starting 11. Hopefully we can.
Stop it. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think of storylines, and we talked about the Chelsea Tottenham game score prediction.
Well, we got Son in our starting lineup, so I'm hoping 2 goals for him maybe. So I'm thinking 2-0.
2-0. Okay, wow.
Tottenham.
I was going to say, as much as I would love to see Spurs get the win and all 3 points,
You think
this
they
feels
take
like a draw.
Okay.
I could see it being a 1-1 draw. A little low scoring.
I don't know if Chelsea have the attacking.
Yeah, they just
attacking
haven't been
form right
scoring
now.
that many goals, and
Yeah.
obviously our defense has been great, but throughout the season we've seen Spurs produce a lot of chances, but not
Yeah.
put them all in the back of the net. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to be clinical tomorrow.
I agree. Yeah, those will be fun games. Yeah, Mexican League, Tijuana versus America. Definitely keep your eye on that one. That's
Mhm.
one that I'm honestly one of my most hyped games for this weekend.
Yeah, we might come right into Footy Fridays next. Well, actually, so next week we will not have Footy Fridays. Next week it'll be Veterans Day, so we're gonna take a week off, and we'll be back at 2 weeks from now. But certainly we'll
We'll keep the eye.
we'll
on
start off
yeah.
that episode talking about that Tijuana game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that'll wrap things up for episode 5 of Footy Fridays. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys every week. So make sure to tune in. Like I said, not next week, but the week after for our next episode. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, Footy Fridays. I'm Zach Durham, Desi Lopez. Don't go anywhere. Dunk Discussions is coming right up, guys.
Hello and welcome to Dunk Discussions. I'm here with El Darmanian and Maddie Dixon. Producer
Yes.
Matt. Producer Matt. We're going to keep his last name low key even though I just said it. Y'all are listening on 88.1 HD Channel 3. You're also listening on 22westmedia.com. Of course, we're streaming live on YouTube. Go ahead and hit the comment box. Let us know. Talk your crap if you want to. We'll
And
gladly respond.
also, don't forget to download the app that we launched 3 weeks ago, I think. And it's honestly, so far, it's been very, very useful. However, people have been experiencing, I think, whatever stops people the most from downloading the app is probably signing in thing, because people don't want to create accounts and stuff. But it's worth it, I promise you, because it's a very impressive, and I would say it's a comfortable thing to use as an outlet.
Oh,
honestly.
it's
Easier than having to look up 22 West Media every time. You know?
absolutely.
I'm not saying that the website just has more information, I would say, but app is probably very, very useful. So I recommend downloading it.
Yeah, you open it up, hit play. It's as easy
What
as
a
that.
great promotion I just did.
That was really nice. And so today we got a full show lined up for y'all. We're 1 week into the season. The in-season tournament starts tonight. We're going to be talking about some new court looks.
Yeah,
We're going to be breaking down the
was
new
very
courts.
impressive.
We're also going to maybe make a little predict. We're going to do a fast break at the end of the show,
Yeah.
basically. Okay, but first we're going to talk about Steph Curry cooking Dylan Brooks, Dylan the villain. We're going to, like I said,
Find
talk
some
about the
highlights.
tournament. Yeah, exactly. The Bucks and Grizzlies are struggling, and that's basically it.
Didn't we talk about that when we were making our predictions for the season? I think one of us said that the teams who are going to struggle are going to be the Grizzlies, or no? Did we?
Yeah, well, I was saying that the Grizzlies were struggling because we're gonna struggle because they're not gonna have Steven Adams and Ja's gonna be out the first 25 games. I didn't think they'd look like this.
No, I knew
They're
they were going
winless,
to be.
and Yeah,
struggling.
and I did choose the Bucks over the Celtics in my finals prediction,
Mhm.
and
But-
I was just basing that on I didn't think that they would. They're 2-2 right now. It's really early in the season
Yeah.
to make any official calls on how they're going to end up. But what I did say was they have a new head coach, and they were at least going to have some growing pains.
Mhm.
And it looks like we're living through them right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you picked the Bucks over.
I didn't. I picked the Celtics.
You did. You
The
picked
I picked
Celtics,
the
Lakers. Celtics,
Oh,
Lakers. He
Yeah,
picked
I
the
just
Bucks.
don't remember who exactly.
I
but
went.
For me,
I
it
went
was,
Celtics, Lakers for the finals.
for me, it was Golden State. Anyways,
All right, where do you want to kick this off? You want to kick this off
courts,
on?
please. Can we look at the courts?
Yeah, let's
'Cause
let's start with
I-
some fun stuff. The courts.
When I was walking in, I decided to look at the NBA, and they literally had a whole reel posted about how they were making those courts.
Mm.
They look cool, honestly.
How are
Especially
they making it?
huh?
How are they doing it?
They were just putting up boards together. I mean, it's not that
Oh.
fascinating, but
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, so they kind of they had.
the courts.
They're basically not painting the
that
courts as
have-
they go. They're just
No,
putting a
they
court
just
on top of the
basically
existing
attach,
court.
they attach the details of They're basically like a puzzle.
Mhm.
That's the concept of making them.
Yeah.
And the court that I saw, I don't remember what team that was, but it had a dark, background. I mean, the initial base of the court was dark. It was either black or dark green, I think. Or
That might
blue.
be who's that down in the bottom?
Yeah, you see that? But it looked amazing. Honestly, with the lighting, maybe it's just the affects on the video. I don't know. But I was honestly I was pleasantly surprised
Yeah,
because
no.
it looks like
Yep.
a cartoon. If
Have you
look at
have you
this.
seen a time lapse video of what they do at Staples Center when
Mm-mm.
hockey season and basketball season is going on at the same time?
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
It's-
sometimes they
it
have
was
the
something
same
else.
game.
It was not only hockey and basketball.
Maybe they had a
It's
concert.
also-
It was-
yeah. Or it's also
yeah.
the Lakers play earlier and then Clippers play later.
Yeah, and they have to change out the court for
Yeah.
that too. Yeah,
It's,
I mean,
it's,
I've
it's nice.
I've
it's
been-
crazy to think that there's just ice underneath that court.
It is. It's crazy to think.
It's like a
I've-
big cooler top.
Once I was working back at home. I was working at the event, and we have a very, very a huge arena. It's a hockey arena, and they had a UFC fight night that day, and we
Mhm.
had to cover the ice, build up the seats and then put the octagon. I forgot the name of the where they fight
The octagon.
octagon. Yeah,
The
and
octagon.
in the middle it was fascinating. It's just crazy to think that the ice is like right underneath.
No, it is
understand.
crazy.
I understand with the fights,
Some
like
sort
if
of
you put the
insulation.
UFC, if you put up the UFC octagon. I forgot. I keep forgetting how to say stuff.
Yeah, it's just it's.
But
yeah.
then if you put a
it means
whole
an
court.
eight-sided shape.
Yeah, I know. It's
Okay.
the same word in Russian. I'm just saying, like with my
It's the
accent, it's
same
really
word.
hard. It's really hard to say.
How would you say it with your? Just let it loose.
The real Russian word for octagon?
Yeah.
Octagon.
Oh, okay. I would have gotten that.
That sounds nice.
Octagon.
Okay.
Okay, so we got the courts up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can make it bigger on the left monitor? I don't know how to do that. You can do it on the laptop, but maybe right click it. No, that's okay. So we were checking these out earlier, and my top three. Okay, first off, they ruined Milwaukee. Milwaukee is in
I can't
Group
even see
B,
them
the third
properly.
one down. I mean, I don't know how you feel. All right, before we start critiquing, let's just go top three courts.
You go with your favorites because I'm currently looking them up. I remember you sent into the group chat. I looked at them.
Yeah, okay,
But you go.
so top three courts, I'm going number 1, Kings. I like that lion that they got. That lion with like a basketball for the back of their head and a crown on it.
Mhm.
I love that. Clippers, we were checking out the City Connect jerseys before the show, and the Clippers City Connect jersey print resembles the center of their court print, and I really like that. That's Group B in the West, second from the bottom. I think if they rebrand themselves that way, they're going to be looking pretty snazzy. And then I like Indies. Indies reminds me of just like kind of a cartoon with that yellow on blue. It's almost like Charger colors now that I'm looking at it again. That's Group A,
From
second
afar.
from the bottom as well.
Oh, I found them.
Yeah, so I like Indies one, and so those are my top three. I feel like the Lakers and the Celtics, they didn't really go for it. You know, they just went with Boston. Just went with the word Boston. My bottom three are Milwaukee, the Hornets. I don't like the Hornets one for some reason, and I also there we go, baby. Okay, and also I think that the red is going to be overwhelming. Chicago went red on red, which is just like you obviously need a black
Heat.
strip down the middle for Chicago.
Heat is also full on red.
Yeah.
Houston Rockets are full on red.
Yeah. I like the H-Town logo.
Bulls are.
I think that it looks cool in the
Oh my
middle, but I
God.
think the red's just going to be too much for people's eyes.
You know what's
going
gonna
to
be pretty?
strain them.
Your favorite team, Celtics.
You
Is
think it's
it?
going to be pretty?
It's gonna be so pretty. The green color, it's like emerald almost.
Yeah, it is. A
I
nice looking
think
green. it is.
And
what
with the
what's
lighting,
good
it's
about
gonna look so
Boston
good.
You
is
know what? You're right. On the screen, that actually probably will look really nice.
It looks.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good on the screen, but if you picture, like, remember how we were looking yesterday at the court at at the game.
Yeah.
Imagine it's the whole bottom and then the lights and everything is pretty darker from the sides.
I
I'm
think
telling you
I
right
didn't
now.
think
think
about that. That's
Boston
yeah.
looks good because that gold in the middle
Yeah.
where the cup is, I think it like personifies it. Like
Okay.
that's what the court. It looks good with the gold in the middle.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Raptors.
Yeah. I was being too critical. It looks cool. But I do like those other three a lot.
For me, honestly, the Suns I think looks cool. The combo of purple and blue.
Where are
ish.
they? They're Group A.
Yeah,
Third
it's
one
like
down.
sea
Yeah,
I
moss.
don't like the L Valley. I don't like that.
You don't like the L Valley? I kind of like it.
76ers is gonna be outrageous.
Yeah, it's gonna be
76ers,
too-
Miami
76ers,
Heat,
I feel like
all of them are red. Like, look at how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red, which those are Heat, 76ers. What else did I say? Bulls. I don't. Yeah. I mean, my favorite are Lakers.
I think
Suns.
Lakers is too gaudy.
However, I think the yellow is gonna be too. You know,
I don't know what
Still
these
got
teams
it.
are thinking with these loud colors.
I like the Warriors.
Oh, you know what I forgot? too?
Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors. Like they have the ghost strip in the middle, and then the court
Oh, the blue
is
court.
like
Is that
little
Group B the
darker.
second
I
one
like
down?
Hornets.
Group B the second one down?
The
Okay,
Warriors?
mine
Yeah.
are
Group C, first one.
Oh, that's the Warriors. Okay. That looks like a pretty standard court.
mine are gonna be Hawks, for sure.
You like that blue?
Hornets, and then which one did I say?
You said
and-
Lakers.
No, changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
Suns, Hornets, and the one on top.
The
The first
ATL.
one, Group A. Yeah.
I think an honorable mention, because they just got very adventurous with it, is definitely San Antonio in the bottom right. Group C, the very bottom. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, is it just? We should probably find out.
Group C at the very bottom.
Yeah. So the San Antonio Spurs, they went completely different color scheme. I feel like it might be
What do you
their
mean?
old ABA color scheme.
East or
But
West?
It's
This
on the
one-
in
this
the in
is
the
a-
west. So if you go down to that bottom right, zoom all the way. Can you zoom all the way in on that?
Is it Washington?
Okay,
Wizards
look
or
at
no?
so. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's that one in the bottom right. So it's like a sun, and there's something in the middle of it that just doesn't. I don't know what the heck it is. to be
Oh,
honest with you.
that's Spurs.
Yeah, the Spurs. Yeah, I've never
That's
seen
ugly.
the Spurs logo like that.
It's
You could
not
probably
s-
zoom out a little bit on the other camera too, Manny.
No.
It looks like the Space Needle or something. At
It
first,
looks
I
like
thought.
a TV station.
Right? At first, I thought that was the Thunder going supersonics on us, but they just.
I don't like it.
I don't know what they did.
I'm very picky and stuff, so I don't like 80% of those.
Yeah, I know. I don't like most of them either. I don't know why I like Indy. It
Wait.
just reminds me of just like being
New
a kid.
Orleans Pelicans actually. Another favorite personal of mine is gonna be New Orleans.
Oh, you like the New Orleans one? Not a
Yeah.
fan.
What do
But
you
they-
mean?
They do have that color scheme on. It's such a Mardi Gras looking color, I guess, you know?
What do you mean? Like the base or
I like
the
the
line in the
Timberwolves.
middle?
The purple and green, that's like a Mardi Gras color scheme.
Yeah,
you know
but
Mardi
it's-
Gras?
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
to me it's pretty.
No, you
cool.
could like it, and I could not like it. We don't have to agree.
They did Milwaukee Bucks dirty.
I don't
Very
like
dirty.
I don't understand what's going on there. Like they had a blue logo in the center. They have a turquoise strip down the middle,
Yeah,
and then just
what?
regular wood. It doesn't seem like it. Just seems like
I
they
mean,
got the leftover
it probably
colors.
depends on
Like,
how much
it
money
doesn't look
people
like
have.
I like the
these days.
Timberwolves. I like the baby blue with the wolf in the middle.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I do like their logo. I love the
Who?
Kings. I love the Kings logo. I love the Clippers logo.
Oh, the
H Town's
the
logo is
Minnesota
very cool.
Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just drawn to that Spurs.
I'm
court.
drawn to the Hornets for sure.
What's the worst and what's the best?
The worst one,
I think
Milwaukee's.
Milwaukee's pretty bad. Yeah. Milwaukee, I just don't understand it. The land, the Cleveland's is like basically just
I
a
don't
normal
like this
court.
turquoise whatever color is in the middle. It looks like
The Bulls?
no.
In
Milwaukee
season tournament.
Bucks. The turquoise color in the middle is like you see the line in the middle. Like they
Yeah,
have
the strip,
blue,
yeah.
then turquoise, and then regular wood.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like everyone is going all out blue, every single color of the rainbow you can see, except for
Literally.
Milwaukee Bucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the red ones are not my favorids.
I
just
don't
do
like
not
this
like
red
the
on
Bulls
red,
one. I
yeah.
don't like the Bulls
Mhm.
one at all. I think the Sixers has potential, but just red in general for an
What
entire game might just start
upsets me?
hurting your eyes a little bit. It just
Miami
doesn't make any
Heat could have done so much better.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
the
don't
Heat
like
and the Bulls need a
gray.
black strip down
Mhm.
the middle. Like they have the same colors, but at least give one of them a black strip because they're both black and red.
Right.
Yeah. Weird.
I don't know. Anyway,
Whatever.
I don't know why they put heat there, though. They should just put the flaming basketball they always have. Like, it looks better.
yeah, exactly. No, definitely
Make
should have
more
done that.
make more room for the ads and stuff
Yeah.
on the court.
All right, so y'all want to make some picks in these pools? You want to see who's gonna win? You can just zoom out on this, and these are all the pools right here. Or no, you got it. You got it already lined up, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
No.
Steph doing
Sorry.
them dirty.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, we got the odds. We got the odds up here. Okay, so Celtics. This is for the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
In-season tournament betting odds. We got Celtics at plus 390, 389. Okay, yeah, there we go. Plus 369. The Bucks at plus 409. Nuggets at plus 469. Suns, I have no confidence in the Suns right now.
No, they
plus
should be
66.
dropping, bro.
They should be- I don't know if these are updated
I was
or
about
what.
to ask, what are they doing?
Warriors-
Spurs twice.
Warriors, Clippers. See, I'm
That's
like,
because Wembanyama is in there.
yeah,
How many
no,
points he dropped last time? 38?
38.
38 yesterday.
Absolutely out of control. This guy is so good. Speaking of that real
Outrageous.
quick. Okay, speaking of that real quick. I'm going, even though I know we just said about Wembanyama, I'm going Chet Rookie of the Year. Let's go, baby. You know it. Last week I kind of went back on that statement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going all in. I don't care what you guys say.
Okay.
When you talk about conspiracies, I don't think anybody other than Wembanyama is gonna win because
Yeah.
they
I wanna
need him
see
to be
them-
the future.
They don't
I
need
mean,
him to win
we
it, but
pretty
he's
much-
unbelievably good, dude. He's just
Who?
putting Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He's just shooting threes like. Anyway, we're going to
'Cause
talk about
that's
Wemby
like-
later.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
No, we could roll into it. We could delay
Because
this.
His
This episode-
height. It's his height.
Oh my god. Like I was
7-4, yeah.
7-4. Like there was a play in the game last night, I think it was.
Like all he has to do
Where he-
really is just
Yeah, no, Eric Gordon's guarding him. And Eric Gordon's like 6 foot, 6'2". I don't know, he's not like
I
super
don't know
tall
how
guy.
if you're 6.
And he's like this and
you-
and Victor just goes like this. It wasn't even like there. It was like me guarding a guy, like an NBA player. That's what,
That's
it was a joke.
outrageous.
It
There's
was-
literally no one in the league that could disturb his shot.
no,
Like in the sense of getting his hand to his
I
where the
was-
ball is, or even getting your hand to his face. Like you're not
I
gonna
wasn't
be able
that-
to like deter his shot.
no.
You
There's a
just
lot
hope
of
he
guys that
misses.
I
can't
was
reach
in
his
that
face.
position once, and honestly, after that, like after being not guarded, I was guarding. Terrible. I'm
Yeah,
never
no, I
touching it.
play-
I
I-
just sat down. And I'm like, I'm never touching a basketball again.
Last semester, I played 1-on-1 with a guy that was 6'4" in the rec center, and like I got two quick points,
And he was
but
like,
I
"Oh."
was so exhausted from trying to get around him and get an open shot.
Yeah.
And then like once he got the ball, it was like near impossible for me to guard
Game
him.
over.
You know what I mean? Like I just had to use my
Yeah.
body, just like try to get in this. I don't know. It was tough. Like he ended up
Wait,
winning.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Oh yeah.
So that's basically like Eric Gordon guarding
like
Wembanyama.
Chat guarding Wemby.
Actually, it's even more extreme than that.
But
Because that
there-
would mean that Eric Gordon would be 6'9", guarding a 7'4" guy, but he's probably like 6'2" or something like that. So it's like that's basically 2 feet
What
of
do
a
you
dip
think is the best height for
no, no,
basketball?
a
The
foot.
taller, the better.
over a foot. What?
What do you think the first,
6'4" or higher.
the
is
best height for basketball? What is?
Oh,
you?
right now it's 6'8", 6'9". 6'8", 6 to 6'9" is the best height for a basketball player in today's game. You got
You have,
Tatum,
You have Wemby. That's
Tatum,
why.
Giannis,
How
what's
tall
his
is
name?
Lillard?
Lillard's probably like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
So he's probably like 6'4", maybe 6'3". Okay, Giannis, KD, LeBron. Giannis might be 6'10", but like that like 6'8" to 6'10" range is where all like the goats are coming from. But like that's also Wembanyama's 7'4", and he has every bit of agility and just moves that those guys that are 6'8",
Like,
Yeah,
6'9"
he makes
have.
2 steps, and everyone else is just making his their 5th or 6th one. Like
I don't know if you
There
guys
was-
seen it. I don't know if it was against the Suns or the team he played previously. He dunked on somebody
Yeah,
outside the restricted area.
yeah, I saw that.
Like he could stand outside of the restricted area and just be boom.
Almost flat-footed, just jump
Just
into
be
that.
like, bro, how do you stop
get
that?
him
He
out of the
can't.
game.
There was one play where he gets the ball in the post, and like the shot clock. I think the shot clock was running out, but then he just like kind of like gets on his tippy toes and lays it in on a finger roll. There's a video online. I don't know if you can find it, but there's a video online of him wearing like a camera on his head, like a GoPro, and it's like going to the rim like you're Wembanyama, and he's basically like almost face up with the rim as he's going towards it. So he jumps just like a little bit, and it's kind of cool. It's crazy.
No.
It's amazing, man.
Tall people irritate me.
So let me know.
7'4". Okay, so.
Who's taking it in the in-season tournament?
See, like, I think this is pretty interesting because I'm not saying that these guys are going to take games off, you know, because obviously they have to because this is one of those requirement games. But I thought there would be some more middle-of-the-pack teams that would be getting some love as far as the odds go. So I was thinking, you got to put your cursor over it.
Lakers.
Right there.
I see them at the
Right
bottom.
there. Scroll down now. Okay, so yeah, Cleveland, Memphis is in trouble. I can't believe they're in front of the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans and the Kings are going to make it. Well, De'Aaron Fox is out for a little while with that ankle injury. The Kings get no love.
Yeah.
Why am I on an island here? I'm just like a King lover for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the league respects him.
No, Vegas doesn't
They
respect him. Was
don't
it Caesars?
Cause but Dallas, I would say like Luka's playing at MVP level right now.
Yeah. I mean, they're undefeated, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're undefeated. I mean, they don't play. And, okay, so that's actually good. Underdog. Okay, so obviously I'm taking the Celtics to win this because I think they're the best team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But my outside shot probably would be just based on how they're starting the season will be Dallas and the Pelicans. I don't even know why the Grizzlies are still on those odds. But I would do, put $100 down and get 46 back if the Pelicans take it. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Plus 4,600. I'll take it. I don't know. If there's any bookies out there, I'll take it. Just kidding. That's illegal.
What do you think, El? Who you think's taking it?
I'm just looking at this and I'm like, no, it's so weird. I don't know. It's so unpredictable. Whoever we said, I was confident before the beginning of the season. I was confident in one teams, like in the couple, that they were gonna be secured and good. Now I'm not. Now I'm not confident in anything. I'm losing my mind. Cause, listen, I was thinking Lakers are gonna be doing better. They're gonna be great, especially with the way they finished off last season, and now, I don't know.
I mean, they just beat the Clippers.
Yeah, but before that.
Yeah.
I lost.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? I mean,
I think
the
Dallas
war.
wins.
Steph Curry looks like he's 25 right now.
Yeah.
It's almost unbelievable.
And you were talking about him rolling an ankle again.
Yeah, he might. I mean, it's not like he won't. He could.
I would say Warriors, okay.
Yeah. It's crazy. They lose Jordan Poole and they look 10 times better.
Maybe
They didn't make any other improvements except for getting rid of that guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Paul is.
Oh, that's right, Chris Paul.
He's fitting
I don't
in
wanna-
perfectly with
yeah,
the team, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything about Lakers because I don't want to touch them and jinx anything. So, I'm just gonna go with the Warriors. That's it.
If I'm putting money down, I'm putting $100 on the Mavericks.
Yeah, at this point, the
I mean,
Mavericks
just because of those
are
odds
Yeah.
and they're playing really well.
playing. But honestly, I feel like the only reason they're playing so well is because of Luka. So if Luka has an average game or just goes back to 25 and 6 and something like that, I don't think the team's gonna be as good as
Yeah, but also, what if
they are right now.
Yeah. Also,
look at the Golden State? Aren't they playing good just because of Steph?
no, I mean
You think
Draymond's playing a lot better than he did last year, and like he said,
What did
Chris
he-
Paul is having a good a legit role
Mm.
coming off the bench. Clay hit that game winner too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but that was also a game that they beat the Kings on a last second shot,
Yeah.
and they didn't have De'Aaron Fox, their best player. So that says something.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
West is a dog fight, bro.
The West
gonna
is
be
a dog fight.
so hard, bro.
And the Mavericks, I we talked about this in the preseason GM poll. The two biggest low key acquisitions were Marcus Smart and Grant Williams. And Grant Williams is that guy that is keeping the Mavericks defense afloat. They play really, really small, but he's one of those guys that is 6'5", 6'6", and he can barely, I don't know, he can guard almost anybody.
In the team. Sorry, in the chat we have people asking James Harden to Clippers.
Okay. So
Talk about it.
we're gonna should we take a break real quick because
Yeah,
it's
we
about
can- we can take
2
a break, and
2:25,
then
we're gonna
come back with the breakdown of James Harden once
get it.
again.
let's get it.
Kawhi.
YOLO,
Oh.
and welcome back to Dunk Discussions on 88.1 HD Channel 3. We're also on the app, 22 West Media app. Listen live. And, of course, 22westmedia.com. This is Dunk Discussions, and we got something to talk about.
We had a lot of things asked in the chat this time. Sorry. Carlos is asking Kawhi, PG, Russ, and Harden, are the Clippers now a super team in the NBA? All-star players, that makes them a super team. No. They can have LeBron and Steph Curry on that team, but they still won't be a super team because it's Clippers. So
Before we go deep into it,
yeah,
the trade for James Harden, the Clippers received James Harden, of course, PJ Tucker, and Philip.
Petrusev?
Peter.
No, it's Petrusev.
Petrusev, there you go.
They already
That's
traded him to
Slavic,
the Kings,
'cause-
too, I think.
Okay. And then the 76ers received Robert Covington, Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, KJ Martin, unprotected 2028 first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, first-round pick from the Thunder, and first-round pick swap with the Clippers.
So, yeah, so I don't – what is the Thunder getting out of all this?
They got a –
Nothing?
I think the Thunder.
Thunder?
They're still
Got a
waiting to
pick.
get a piece? Oh,
Yeah.
they
They
gave
got a
up a
pick or a
first-round
pick.
pick to
Yeah,
get a
something.
second-round pick or something?
Something
So
like that.
James
Cash?
Harden
Doesn't make any
trade.
sense.
I think they ended up getting a pick, though.
Oh, okay. Or I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Anyway, so yeah, James Harden goes to the Clippers. Day one press conference, makes the announcement, basically saying that he wants it to be Brooklyn Nets 2.0, where he says, I want to have input on game plans. I want to be able to play freely, which obviously didn't work out in Brooklyn. And he also said that he doesn't need to be a part of a system. He is the system.
That's loud.
And the problem with that is there's two guys that are astronomically better than him maybe not astronomically, but Kawhi is hands down a better player than
James.
Harden. Paul George is probably at this point in his career a better player than James Harden is. Russell Westbrook knows his position. Russell Westbrook knows his place on this team. I'm not sure if James Harden is going to move in and.
I don't think he's gonna move in
fit
and
in
move
the-
all three. Like he's not gonna be able to be like just. I said so.
Yeah, no, and I think that he's going to try to put up a bunch of shots. If James Harden can play the way he did early last season for the Sixers, they will be a success. Because they, in all honesty, and I don't think he's ready for this, if they had James Harden coming in off the bench and running that second unit, team would be unstoppable.
No way he's coming off the bench.
There's no way. He is the system. He's not doesn't work. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see because Ty Lue is not going to take any nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a curious situation to see how that plays out, especially how James Harden has already established his point of view. So no, I don't think that look, it could help the Clippers astronomically. It could also backfire even bigger.
Would it really?
Yeah, I mean PJ
You know
Tucker's
what
already
it
playing.
reminds me of? Honestly, all the soccer fans when Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe were playing all on the same team. I did not honestly see the connection with them because when you have like 300 star players on one team, it's not a guarantee that everything that is going to come out is going to be good. Sometimes there is no connection between those players and it's just pointless. I would rather have one star but be confident that everything is that it's going to bring result than have like Kawhi, Russell, Harden, all of them in the mix and just, especially with Harden and all his loud sayings. I don't know.
No, I mean, I definitely agree to a certain extent. There was like a trend in the NBA where it was just like put as many superstars on one team as possible and they don't really think about how they fit together. I think this is one of those situations where you're not really thinking about how the stars are going to play together.
Yeah.
It's better to have a team like for the Nuggets, for example, where you have one guy who is the guy, and then you have a bunch of guys that complement the guy. Where this is like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard kind of do a similar thing, and Kawhi Leonard is technically better.
Like Wemby's being complimented.
Yeah, like exactly. Like there's no
Or-
question who the best player on that
But
team
I
is.
would rather have a team like Lakers where you have like LeBron, okay, and then you have coming up stars like, well, he's been in the league already, but like Austin Reeves, like the ones who don't necessarily like, they're not around him, they're building their own, looking up to him.
Yeah, I mean that's a great example because the Lakers had Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
And they just basically just dumped a big name on that team, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to see how it works out." And it just did because LeBron plays the way that he does,
Yeah.
which is super similar to Russ, but he's a better just player in general.
Yeah.
It didn't work at all. So the Lakers they traded him, and they got
they got rid
pieces
of him.
that they got pieces that fit around him, like Rui Hachimura and who else did they pick up in that trade?
D'Lo.
Yeah.
D'Lo, exactly, and D'Angelo Russell. So they got a different point guard that'll be more willing to just play defense and distribute the ball, maybe take a couple mid-range jumpers over here and
Yeah.
there, look for his spots, basically, right?
He's more of a perimeter shooter.
Yeah, and so he's got a nice mid-range shot too, though. But yeah, just different. It's all about the fit, right? So speaking of that, what the 76ers got in this trade was definitely not what Daryl Morey said he was looking for James Harden, which was another all-star caliber player. He wasn't necessarily looking for picks, which he mainly got. So I'm thinking that he's just going to try to turn around and trade most of these picks for an all-star player, a guy that's ready to win a championship with Joel Embiid.
Is this enough to keep Joel Embiid happy?
Only if they pick up a play like look, Giannis signs that extension because they picked up Damian Lillard. If the Sixers can trade some sort of collection of players with all these picks, they could put a trade package together for an all-star caliber player that fits with Joel Embiid, then yeah, I think it will. But right now, the players that they picked up, no. I think Robert Covington's a good player. I think Nick Batum's a good player. I think Marcus Morris hasn't really played that much lately. I don't think he's going to contribute too much unless he has a rebirth, unless this is one of these things where he just needs a new
like
situation.
Steph Curry, 25 again.
Yeah, he's 25 again. Yeah. KJ Martin is Kenyon Martin's son, so he's got some lift and stuff. He was in Houston before this, I believe, but he's also not really a piece that people are really dying to get. So between the picks and the rotation guys, Covington and Batum, they could be a rotation guy on any team. Like maybe they pick up somebody else, but right now I don't think this is exactly what Joel Embiid was looking for. And definitely not what Morey was looking for in return for James Harden, the greatest scorer ever.
Do you want to look at because I mentioned Steph Curry, do you want to look at the highlights that we looked up?
Oh, yeah,
in the
for
beginning?
sure.
Because
for sure.
we need some visuals.
But yeah, overall, like I think that PJ Tucker brings a nice little element to the Clippers. Like you guys know how skeptical I am of James Harden. I don't know what James Harden is going to.
You don't like him.
Yeah, I don't know what James Harden is going to do for that squad.
I don't know either. I
but
don't like
it's-
athletes who come in and they're like, I'm going to build this.
See, I think
Yeah, he might.
James Harden
sit down somewhere.
specifically is going to affect Russell Westbrook the most. I think obviously you're not going to bench Leonard and Paul George. They obviously came out and said that James Harden is going to start. But if you play James Harden and Russell Westbrook in a starting lineup or together, people have said this time and time again, it's redundant because they both need the ball in their hands. They both to be effective. And obviously you're not going to play Russell Westbrook off ball because he can't shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And
You can't do it.
And also, James Harden is going to play off ball because he's more effective with the ball in his hand.
You just need them on court one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. So chances are, I guess, okay, you put the options are you put Russ or Harden on the bench. They're probably going to put Russ on the bench and have him come in and be a sixth man, which he can do. I mean, I think he's fine with doing that at this point in his career. Personally, I think it'd be better if James Harden was coming off the bench because he'd be more immediate, just by myself offense. Like you could let him dribble, shoot as
Yeah,
Charles
as
Barkley would
much.
say. But I don't look if they were to run up just names and status. You put Russell Westbrook at 1, James Harden at 2, Kawhi, PG as your 2 forwards, and then Zubats as your 5. Like, yeah, that sounds like a super team, but it's just not like Matt was
It's
just
like
saying. These two
fantasy
guys are going to want
football.
to bounce the. Yeah, right. Yeah. If it was a fantasy basketball team,
That's
I mean,
fantasy
come on, like let's
basketball.
go. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like those 4 guys can be on the court at the same time. It was working so well with Russ setting them up. And James Harden is technically a shooting guard, but he kind of became a point guard
guard, right.
in Philadelphia. And he did really
Kinda
well,
became
dude.
No, I would say Houston with Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni really pushed, like, okay, James, you need to do both score and pass. Like,
Yeah, but James Harden led the league in assists. Like,
Mhm.
that was like last year he really kind of became an actual legit point guard. And like I already brought up before, Doc Rivers said at the All-Star break when he didn't make the All-Star team, that's when he changed. That's when he said, you know what, I'm just going to go back to my old ways. Let's just start yakking up shots.
Okay, let's watch the highlight.
All right, let's
Dylan Brooks
see
and
Dylan
Steph Curry.
Dylan the villain get his
Can
ankles
I
broken.
Please say something.
Go full
I
screen.
have
Go on the
never-
left. Go full screen. Yeah, there we go.
I have never disliked someone as much as I dislike Dylan Brooks.
Dylan the villain, hit it,
even
hit
There's
it, hit
nothing-
it, VJ.
even over Ja Morant.
No, I
Even though
like
they're in
Ja.
the same team for a reason.
Which,
They
look at that. That is just poetry in motion. Which, by the way, oh, I love this. I haven't seen this video yet.
the ankle is crazy.
I like how he's like when Steph gets him in the air, Dylan Brooks damn near touches his toes with his hands. Watch this. He goes, and they, oh, look at. He's like doing
hilarious.
some sort of like cheerleading move right here. All right, I wish they had that angle on the toe touch. He definitely touches his knee. But watch this.
I don't
Okay, so I
like
put
Dylan
Ja on
Brooks.
my top 10, my preseason top 10,
Yeah.
right?
You want to put Dylan Brooks now?
No, but what if? So like,
You're coming.
and like that was like a questionable move, you know? People are like, oh my God, KD, you got John there over KD. Watch, when Ja Morant comes back, the Grizzlies are gonna be a problem. It's all gonna work out once Ja Morant comes back, and then you'll be like,
Is it-
oh,
Is it
maybe
gonna
he
be too
is a
late, though?
top
Yeah,
10
that's what I
player.
was about to say. It's gonna
No,
be
they can
so
make the
late.
play-in. That's the thing about the play-in. You only have to be like the 10th best team or whatever, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they can make the play-in.
I don't know
No
about
problem. Come on. The Grizzlies.
that. But anyways,
Grizzlies came in second in the regular season last year in the West, I think, right?
I don't remember. Did
Something
they?
like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
look at
Grizzlies
that.
were
They're
the
they're
2
at the
seed.
so that
Yeah.
that West A
A?
bracket, they're the
Mhm.
number 1 seed in that West A bracket. That's the thing. Like they were good, but they also and they didn't have Steven Adams for that long. Like for a while they didn't have him.
He's out for the year.
Yeah, now he's out for
Yeah.
the whole year, but they were able to play well without him last year. Even though they're like to win a championship, they're gonna need their whole squad.
That's ridiculous.
So anyway,
I saw Dylan Brooks' face, and I'm upset for the day.
yeah. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Bucks before we hit the fast break. Maybe just like
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so last year, the Bucks were giving up. It was like 103 points per game, right?
Yeah.
In the first week of the season, the Milwaukee Bucks are giving up 119 points a game.
Okay.
And that first game, Damian Lillard went ballistic. He went off, right?
What? For how many points?
I think it was like 39.
39 or
I think it was
something. It's
39
always
points in game 1.
40, 39, I think. But it's crazy still. Like,
What kind of stats
Good.
you got going over here? Yeah, no, it's so he went off, and then
Yeah.
that next game, he might have barely gotten into double digits, right? I got a rookie head coach. They're 2-2 right now, which is, I mean, that's not a terrible record, 500. But I think we really expected the Bucks to come out the gate swinging. They would be the problem in the NBA, and it really like the Mavericks and the Celtics are the top 2 teams in the league right now.
yeah.
So, was I mean, I know it's a little too early to make this
tell.
call, but like, was this the right move for the Milwaukee Bucks? Guys are just dunking on them. They're straight up. What stats you got up there?
Trying to get the defensive rating.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Team defense stat, or is that not it?
So what is the question necessarily? You're asking if
I'm asking if how important was Drew Holiday to that team? You know, like, yes, like you went for the shiny object. You got Damian Lillard, who's an incredible scorer, but the Bucks have been known for defense, and Drew Holiday
Well, we were
is a
talking
fantastic
about it.
defender. They got this new coach who I'm not sure, but might be more offensively minded. He came from Toronto.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, we were talking about it when the trade just happened. Remember, back in it was a
A few
while
weeks
ago.
ago, it was like
I
week
think it was
one.
the second or first episode, right?
Yeah,
So,
I think it was the first episode.
Yeah, I think so
Was
too.
it? Matt,
Lillard.
the
Oh,
Lillard
Holiday,
trade
James
was
Holiday?
episode 1.
Yeah.
That was-
So we were talking about that,
Awesome.
and we said that the defense is gonna struggle, but the offense can be better. It can evolve into something with with Lillard coming in, and we saw that the first game when he dropped like 39 points, but now James Holiday is nowhere to be found, and what is the defense?
Yeah,
Are
the
you-
Bucks defense right now, or
Yeah.
they're 30th in defensive rebounding, 29th in rebounding in general. Assists are 28th.
30th would be last.
Yes. yes. The blocks is 26th in the league, and then yeah, it's just defensive. Their defensive play has been down.
And it's crazy too because Giannis is known as a good defender.
Yes.
Okay, hear me out.
Brook Lopez is known as a rim protector.
Right.
Those guys are both massive and they can't pull down rebounds.
Hear me out. Tell me one team that is like 100% perfectly balanced.
Celtics, baby, let's go.
Well,
Let's
if that was
go.
Celtics, they would have won every single game that they will play.
So far they have.
Okay, but that's the beginning of the season. And also,
I think the Lakers are a very balanced team once they get Vanderbilt back out there. Once they get like full strength with Vanderbilt,
but I'm
Rui.
100% balanced team
Vanderbilt was that other guy
would
they
have
picked up
won
at the trade.
every single game that they played.
Well, right. I mean, you're not going to win every
Or
single
like
game.
99. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think that that's an issue that they don't have a very good defense. I think it just depends also on the team that they play, because sometimes you know that the team is stronger than you are, so you gotta create a little bit better of an defense than offense. But then there are games where you're playing against like, I don't know, Grizzlies, and then you have to like do the offense more because it's your time to score and gain points and just move up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies are getting housed. These dudes, okay, you got it right here. Okay, so they lost to Miami. Oh, wait. No,
This
that
is
was
last year. I was just going to mention that they were 4th in defensive rating last year, and now they're last.
Now they're last. Okay, so and check out
The
these are the
defense
games.
struggle.
They beat Philadelphia in a close one, right? And then they lost to Atlanta, who is not like a great team. They beat Miami, who Miami's close to the bottom of the standings right now, and they lost to Toronto, who, I mean, Toronto's got Pascal Siakam. They got was it Barnes, Scotty Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the Bucks we expect coming into the season. The Bucks we expected to just smash these teams, especially like the Hawks in Toronto. We expected them to
Hawks
win a game like
are
that.
Hawks are
like
not that
probably
bad.
one of the more surprising teams right now.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
they're playing
true.
very good.
Yeah, you got Trey.
But to get blown out by them, like 127 and 110.
Yeah, they lost by 17 to that team.
This
But this was supposed to
this
be
season
the
is, like,
team.
upside
Right.
down.
This was supposed to be the team. And when we first talked about it after the trade happened, I was pretty confident in Giannis being, a defensive
and
player of the
Lillard.
year candidate kind of guy. And I like watching Brook Lopez just bully guys and just protect the rim last year. I thought that first level of defense wasn't going to matter that much because we knew Lillard wasn't going to be playing that much defense. Okay, and Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is also struggling like crazy. He's not playing a lot of minutes, and that might be a big piece of the pie that we're forgetting to talk about too. where Middleton was that number 2 guy last year, and with the combo of those 3, they would have been like a super team. But Chris Middleton seems like he has a serious injury, and he's not going to be playing. He's not playing much more than like 20 minutes a game or something like that.
That's true.
And when he's out there, he's not very effective.
How many fast break questions do you have for us? We can start with them right now.
I got 5.
Okay,
Let's
go
go.
ahead.
Fast break. Woo, woo, woo.
Fast break time.
Fast break.
Tyson.
It's my beatboxing.
All right. So my first fast break question will be, I guess since we're still on the Bucks, what do you think the issue is with the Bucks
I
so
mean,
far in the season?
Defense.
yeah.
100%, because they're ranked last with their defense. When they were like, what, 4th? The previous
Yeah,
season?
they were 4th in defensive ratings.
Yeah, last season they were 4th, and now they're last. I think it says a lot. That's
Yeah.
pretty much all we have to say.
I agree. And
I
like kind of
personally
like what I said, like, okay, so they're
James
having an
Holiday's
identity crisis right now. New coach, new players. They're trying to kind of find their identity, I guess. But yeah, definitely it just boils down to defense.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton's out, but yeah, their defense is not what we're used to seeing from the Bucks.
For sure. All right. Going on. In-season tournament starts today. 7 matchups. You know what I'm saying? So, just quick prediction. Who you think from each conference? Who do you think's coming? Who's winning it in each conference
Okay.
from the West and East?
So I'm gonna go. I'll go first on this. I'm gonna go with because we were talking about it earlier. If I were to put money on something, I would just take the Mavs. Maybe I'm just gonna find a bookie so you can take this bet. But like, I'll go Mavs out of the West, and Celtics out of the. But no, like actually no, that's a stupid prediction. I would bet for the Mavs. Let's put it that way. The two underdog teams that I want to come out of each conference would be the Kings in the West, even though that's not going to happen because De'Aaron Fox is out, so scratch that. I'll take Mavs as my low-key pick. And then out of the East, just to go off the board again, let's go... I guess the Hawks, since y'all were talking them up a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls are in trouble. We could talk about the Bulls next week, but...
Yeah. How about you, El?
I mean, I said Golden State Warriors. I just don't know. Out of the other conference, I have no predictions as of right now, because I just want to sit down and watch the first couple of games, because I don't. The in-season tournament is really confusing. Are there 2 conferences, East and West?
Yeah, it's going East and West. There's going to be the winner of each bracket, and then a wild card after that. So there's going to be 3 winners of a bracket, and then the next best record is going to make it to the wild card
something
round.
in the beginning, and
Yeah.
So far, something that I'm 100% sure in is Golden
Can you
State
pull up
Warriors.
the teams? Do you still have that teams graphic? Okay, here we go. That'll make it a little easier. Okay, so out of the East A, I'm going Cavaliers just because I like them, even though I just said the Hawks. So I'm going East A out of and then I'm going I'll still take the Bucks out of East B. Celtics are winning East C. The Lakers West are winning West A. The Nuggets are going to win West B. And the Kings are going to win West C. And my wild cards are... No, the Warriors are going to win West C. Wild card for my West is the Kings. Wild card for my East is the Hawks. And then I got Celtics playing the Nuggets for the championship.
Just to wrap it up, do you think the Harden trade for the Clippers is going to take them over the hump against Denver?
No. No.
I would
No.
right now no. If James Harden plays as pass first and not just try to take as many shots as possible, I think they got a shot. But I don't think James Harden's going to do that. I think he's just going to try to just.
It's also not a good playoff.
He's going to try to be the system. You know, like he already said it, man. It's just.
I'm just going to say Clippers are going to stay Clippers, as I've said.
Yeah.
So, sorry for the Clippers fans, but I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna make any change. It might make it worse, actually. That's what I think. But if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be more than happy.
Ultimately, I think that this move might not even be to win. It might just be to have a bunch of big names on a roster for when they open up the new stadium. So you just have a bunch of advertisements with the big stars and stuff.
These kinds of trades are more, as I've said, for like fantasy football, fantasy basketball, not the actual real life basketball that we're watching. So I don't think that James Harden's move is. I'm more towards the falling down than going up. For the
Going
Clippers.
down, down, down.
Yeah. And I think
never
on that note,
falling
guys, we're
down.
done for today. Thank you for joining us. Whoever did, thank you for showing the activity in the comment section. We appreciate y'all. See you next Friday at 2 p.m. Listen
2
us
p.m.
through the app, through the website, through the live stream. It was me here, Al, with Matthew and Daniel.
That's
Thank you,
right.
guys.
22 West. Let's go, baby. Dunk discussions.
I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't lead trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPSs. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. And it only you can't have, do it. If we started, we don't see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the back, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going non-stop, I got something to prove. Playing with us, you gon' definitely lose. Never slow down, cause I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't lead trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPS's. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. Hundred only, you can't half do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the back, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going non-stop, I got something to prove. Playing with us, you gon' definitely lose. Never slow down, cause I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't lead trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPS's. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. Trying to get rich, but they dying to 50. Ducking these trends, I don't like what I'm seeing. They jumped the fence, but the grass wasn't greener. No one warned them about the wolves and hyenas. Eggshells, gotta watch how you treat us. Shaking hands, a part of doing business. Make a promise, make sure that you deliver. Good business, only way it continues. Money matters and you need the credentials. Coming straight up, barbers gon' bring issues. My time is prices, don't like to misuse it. Hundred only, you can't half do it. If we started, we gon' see it through. Can't just talk, you gotta show the proof. My interest is making these money moves. Not running my mouth and not coming through. Let's run up the back, I need something new. I'm high on the bills, I want them blue. You want me to work, I'ma need it soon. They all in the way, we gon' need some room. Locked in and focused like missiles on cruise. Going non-stop, I got something to prove. Playing with us, you gon' definitely lose. Never slow down, cause I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag, I'll run away quickly. I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag or run away quickly. Crunch time, my time's not to be wasted.
Welcome to Around the Bases. I am, well, you guys know me as producer Kaylee. Bruce and Garrett are out today, so we got some special guests with us. If you want to
Finally, a
introduce yourselves.
face to a name, producer Kaylee.
Bruce, or he's Bruce, and I'll be Garrett for the day.
Yeah.
All right, so this is intern Bruce and Garrett.
Hey guys.
You guys are probably listening live on our YouTube, but you could be listening on 22 West Radio, KKJZ 88.1 FM HD3, the 22westmedia.com, or on our brand new 22 West Radio app.
Download the damn app. It's super easy to use. It's really cool. You can listen to the game tonight.
It is.
The volleyball game tonight. Also, the Dirtbags are going to be playing on it once that season starts.
Yeah, they
they released the schedule
starting in
soon.
November.
Opening a home opener against Washington.
Right?
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sounds like a big matchup.
And then they got a series against Wichita State, home and away against USC and
Yeah.
UCLA.
yeah, that's gonna be. It's gonna be really interesting to see all that.
It's like a high turnover rate on that team this year, right?
Oh, well, last year was the same story. Last year they had 36 newcomers, and then this year, I don't think it's that many. It's probably in the double. It's for sure double digits.
Yeah, because they got a brand new coach this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valenzuela is no longer there, but I mean, I was talking about it with a couple classmates. It's the way NIL works nowadays. It's so hard for a team like Long Beach State to compete with the LSU's, the Vanderbilts.
Well, yeah, obviously, because the money just isn't the same here as
Yeah.
it is over there. That's what I was talking about. We had a pregame show last night. Fortunately, it didn't go on air, but we were talking about that. The new coach, Amy Wright, she comes from schools, Oklahoma, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And Matt was over here. Matt's our producer today. You probably know him from Dunk Discussions.
Producer
or
Matt.
Going for
from
two.
Going for Two, host Matt. But
Yeah.
he was really talking about, like, how Amy Wright's got to come in, and it's March Madness or bust was his whole thing yesterday. He was going on a little tangent.
I agree. I mean, like, why not? Why
But the
have
thing
ambition
is,
if you're
it's
not going to go all
like-
the way?
She has that resume, but you also got to think, like, she's going to come and take a Long Beach team who doesn't have this money and the scouting depth as Texas A&M or Oklahoma does and try to take them to, like, March Madness. It's just a little crazy, but
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I know we're bouncing all over sports right now. It's supposed to be baseball, but we talk about Coach Hildebrand for the women's
Yeah.
volleyball team, and he came from a big time program in Nebraska, and I was talking to some of the players, and I think it was Savannah was saying like he's like a father figure, like he's
yeah.
He's
No, I see
he's an
that. I
icon.
see
He has a level of iconic status within the volleyball community,
Yeah.
and it seems I don't know much about what's her name, right?
Amy Wright. Well,
Amy
she's
Wright.
pretty iconic. She got
So-
drafted WNBA, had a full-time collegiate career. I think she's with the team she's been with, like the 19 season, she's made it to the playoffs every year.
Wow.
Yeah, so people that aren't getting much playtime in these bigger programs might be more inclined to come over to a place like Cal State Long Beach for women's basketball and
Yeah.
volleyball and kind
I
of
see that.
create like what we see a mid-major level type of program as far as like college basketball goes.
Yeah.
You might not have the big premier high school recruits, but you got people that can ball, and they just need that opportunity to get a little playtime.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the Dirtbags can do come
Yeah.
springtime.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
I'm excited for that,
I haven't won
man.
a championship since like '93 or something like that. So
Hey, they got a great program.
yeah,
Shout
I
out Jared
can't
Weaver.
wait.
yeah.
I can't wait
the
to
old
call those
Giambi
games.
days too.
The Giambi days.
Giambi
Oh,
Yeah.
the Evan Longoria
Oh
days
man,
too.
I know. I'm just gonna jump right into
Damn.
it. It's a shame he couldn't get a World Series ring with the D-backs.
I know.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
that's perfect segue. Thank you for that. I was
Yeah.
struggling to figure out how
This
we're
guy-
gonna
this
rope
guy's
this
a-
back in.
This guy's a
guy's
regular
professional.
old pro right
He's
Hey,
a
here.
bro.
professional.
I can talk ball. I can talk ball.
Rangers Diamondback series concluded. The World Series, it's over. Rangers took it in 5. Sorry, Garrett. No snakes in 7. Brandon Fod. Told you it wasn't worth it, dog.
Oh, hey,
I was-
Brandon Fod. Wow, that guy. What can I say about Brandon Fod? Nothing.
We forgot the flag. I don't know if you guys remember from last
Oh,
week,
yeah.
but producer Kaylee was throwing flags at Garrett because I was tired of hearing about Brandon Fod. It's the conversation.
Oh, I'll talk
topic.
about him more if he didn't
No,
spill the
no,
beans
no.
enough.
We're
I just think
okay.
he's got a crazy story. I mean, he was up and down in AAA all year.
I mean, he was. Don't get me wrong.
And
It's
then
an
you-
impressive story, but the amount of times Garrett has harped on Brandon Fod was just it was a little too much. Shout out, Garrett. Miss you. Anyways,
Speaking of just names that I know that heard you talk about how legit of a postseason your boy Corey Seager has had.
My boy Corey Seager. I mean, the stat
you
line
know, I
I
don't
think
know.
they put out was around. I think the MLB released a stat line around Game 3 or 4, and it was basically Corey Seager stats compared to Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Within 77 games, Seager had either matched or surpassed his numbers,
Yeah.
making him basically a Mr.
And
October.
And he did it in both leagues.
And he did it in both leagues. Reggie Jackson won MVP World Series twice, but in the same league, Corey Seager is now the first and only player to have won in both leagues World Series MVP. First one coming with the Dodgers in 2020, second one coming with the Rangers in 2023.
Yeah, but was he ever in like a movie like The Naked Gun?
No, he was not. You know, he's
So
got some
technically,
stuff going on.
technically,
He's
it's
got
not a
some-
one-to-one comparison. This guy's got to be reaching
we gotta-
Give him
reaching
his
into
time,
the
dude. Give him his
Give him
time.
time, dude. He's like fresh. He's
Yeah.
fresh. A little baby, basically.
Yeah, but no, that's cool. I've always kind of liked Corey Seager. You know what I mean? I always thought he was the better Seager brother.
The little brother.
Seager,
Yeah.
the Seeger
Kyle
brothers. That
Seager.
actually sounds like a good group. It could be like
The
a
Seager-
country
what, the
music.
Yeah,
Jonas
they
some
could go
Brothers
folk,
into.
or
some
what?
folk
The
music.
next
Yeah,
Jonas Brothers?
no, like the Avett brothers, the Seeger
The
brothers,
The
Yeah.
Doobie Brothers.
the Doobie brothers, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Almond brothers.
There you go. Now we're talking brothers, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm
Yeah,
just like a little bit back about this game. This game was ridiculous pitching wise. I mean, Evaldi went 6 scoreless.
Okay.
It was 6 scoreless. Gallon went about only 1 earned run.
He had a
through
no-hitter through
6.1.
6 innings.
Yeah, they were. It was a pretty
And,
great
and
matchup.
Fox wouldn't
pitching-wise.
shut up about it, and they kind of jinxed it. But-
Right?
Yeah,
It
I
was.
mean,
Fox on the downfall on that. Fox, you really gotta be careful what you say about no hitters, because that's why we ain't having that much. Y'all
Yeah.
jinxing it.
I just
But-
want to talk about the Rangers real quick because, I
Go for
mean,
it.
I was an Angels fan. It's hard to see a different AL West team win the World Series. But, you know, you got to give credit to where credit's due. And the Rangers, from the top to bottom of that organization, just figured it out and they got it done.
I mean, that organization was ridiculous. Their offseason moves, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, signing those guys, getting DeGrom, Scherzer, like all of that. They just had that money.
yeah, their
Damn, I
their
didn't even
mid-season
think about
pickups.
DeGrom. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
had-
did
He
all
was
this without
all-
DeGrom.
Yeah.
And with a hurt Max Scherzer. You got to,
Yeah.
it's impressive. I mean, I think I just saw, too, that Marcus Semien played all 179 games that
Yeah.
they played in this year. Bro did not get a break. That boy they got their money's worth from him for sure. Same thing with Seager. I mean, they got their money's worth with Seager. Like, I
And
think
just
he
some of the role
proved-
players, too, like Josh Young playing
yeah.
like an absolute like veteran. Like, people forget he's a rookie. And then Jordan Montgomery pitching like an ace leading up to the World. I know in the World Series he wasn't as effective as he was like in the the wild card divisional and championship series, but
Yeah.
he's a big reason why they got there and why that bullpen didn't have to eat up a lot of innings.
Yeah.
That
no.
dude, Adolis Garcia. He
Dude
was out.
is ridiculous.
What happened to that guy?
He tweaked his back on a swing. I think it was an oblique.
I think it was
It was either an
oblique.
oblique or
He,
I don't know.
he just went out on injury midway through.
Did
he
without
was
him
raking.
too. Yeah, he
was
was.
raking though. That's
thought-
like that was
He saved a
unfortunate.
run in
Grand
Game
slam.
4.
He did,
threw
too.
out the first runner of the game from right field.
Yeah.
They sent Christian Walker. I mean, he kind of blew right through a stop sign. To be fair, the third base coach was rounding him, but it was. I
But he
mean,
got him at the end of the day.
you can't
one
do. You
save.
can't. That's another thing. Like when I saw that, I was like, that's going to change the game. The Rangers are going to pull this off because they had a chance to have first and third, nobody out. Instead, they sent they're probably the slowest guy on that offense. I know everyone talks about the speed that Arizona has. Christian Walker's probably the slowest
He's
guy
the
in their team.
slowest one
Even
there,
their
I mean.
catcher, Gabby Moreno, can move quicker than him. Like,
Oh,
so
Sucks for
they
him.
sent him and then realized, like, you know what, maybe this is a guy I shouldn't be sending. So we kind of hesitated and, threw up the stop sign, but
way
he blew
too
right
late.
through
He
it.
blew right through
But
it,
it was
yeah.
a great throw from Garcia. So he got it done defensively and with the bat.
I mean, it was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations to the Texas Rangers.
In the end,
Yeah.
they didn't even need him, and they just dropped like how much they were spent some of the most money all time on a salary this year, right? It was like
not
them
as
and the,
high
them
as
and
the
Mets.
Phillies or the Padres or the Mets.
Well,
Oh,
for
never
the
mind.
Rangers
All right, I'm tripping.
all time,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
like out of all teams all time.
I just thought I don't know. I feel like I looked at the numbers earlier this year, and they were like top 3 in spending. No, or
They're
was
not
it-
top
Spending,
3.
They're
They're probably
definitely
top
not
10.
top
They're
three.
top
They're
10.
probably top
Okay.
10. Definitely not
Okay.
top
I don't even
three.
think they're top
That
5.
top 3 is
Oh,
usually
damn.
Yankees, Dodgers, and then I forget.
The
what-
Padres are
the
up there.
Padres.
The Padres
I don't
are up
think
there.
they're 3
no,
though.
the Mets were number 1. The Mets set a record this year.
Yeah.
Did they?
It was
Okay,
Mets.
so it's probably
Definitely
Mets,
said-
Yanks, Dodgers in that order.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
know
then
the
Padres,
Ra-
Phillies, and then
I know
Padres,
Padres,
Phillies.
the
Phillies.
Sox were like 13 or something like that. That's why they got rid of that guy.
Oh, Chain Bloom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaim.
I want to know what the Angels are going to do with their GM position. They need to get rid of Perry. Who's going to be? Oh, I heard Torrey Hunter is a potential head coach candidate for the Angels. I would
Oh!
love that. I love
That would
Torrey
be
Hunter.
a great pickup for the
That
Angels,
would be
I'm
a
not gonna
beautiful
lie.
pickup.
That
That
would
guy
be
is
great
so.
for you.
He is like, I know he started his career as a Minnesota Twin, but when he played for the Angels, I mean, he was an Angel in the outfield. The way he played defensively,
Who's an
Oh, yeah,
angel
he was
in the
literally,
outfield.
like-
no, yeah.
Nice.
He would jump like crazy.
I'm telling
dude.
you, no, he is
He would
like,
like clear the warning track with a leap.
Right?
he is like,
Yeah, he was sick.
he can be the face of the culture change that
Yeah.
that
I
Anaheim
think they
needs right
definitely
now.
need that. I mean, right now
Ag-
they're going through that heartbreak period. Otani's a free agent, and now they're like, well,
I
we'll
think they'll
trade
keep
Mike
him.
Trout for, you give us something, we'll get rid of him. And it's kind of like, are you guys rebuilding, or are you guys trying to fix everything? What's going on there, Angels?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, with Mike Trout, like you can get a bunch of pieces to rebuild for sure. The thing is, which like happens a lot more with like basketball, which like I'm more inclined to talk about, but kind of like when you have the same thing for a few years and it just doesn't work out, you just get rid of all that top end talent that you have to kind of just like get a bunch of draft picks and just role players that can allow you to rebuild. And the Angels could definitely do that with Trout. And they already blew their shot with Otani, so they might be thinking like, "Hey, let's not make that mistake twice."
Yeah.
But like I've also heard Benji Gill's name thrown around for the head coaching job or the manager job for the Angels, and just some anecdotal Angel fan I was talking to on campus said that Darren Erstad was the Nebraska head coach, which might be an interesting pick.
I did know that actually. I didn't know he was a candidate, but I knew he was the head coach of Nebraska.
I don't know if he was a candidate, but he said that would be who he would choose.
David Eckstein.
That'd be cool. Does
Yeah.
David Eckstein coach?
Oh, I don't know. I think he'd be a good coach. He probably knows a lot about ball. He's probably got a high baseball IQ, but
David Eckstein.
Yeah, he's
I
Did you hear
think-
that?
Jim
Here's
Rat,
my
high,
hot take.
high IQ.
here's
Hot
my hot
take.
take. I think the
Let's hear it.
Angels should trade Trout.
Yeah.
I know he says he wants to stay in Anaheim. I think it's all PR. I think they should trade Trout for whatever you can get for him because it's not going to be as much as what it would have been 5 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
That back issue.
Issues,
But
injuries.
get arms that can pitch, like arms for now and the future, bats for now and the future, and let that team that you trade him to eat up his contract so you can afford Shohei Ohtani and build around Ohtani and those pieces that you get in return for a trade for Trout.
I hate to
I don't
break
think
it
it's
to
going to
you.
happen, but that's my hot take.
I hate to break it to you.
No,
a
it's
hot
not going to the
take for sure.
Dodgers. No.
But according, there's some tweets put out that it has been essentially confirmed the Dodgers are all in for Ohtani. And the first example of that is Max Muncy got a 2-year extension. And that first year of that deal, it's like $24 million. He gets a $5 million signing bonus the first year, but he takes $7 million salary for the first year, 2024. 2025, he gets 12, and then the next year he's got a $10 million club option for 2026.
So it's a backloaded contract.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean,
Well, and it's kind of like a Tom Brady move where they give him a bunch of money in the signing bonus and they restructure it.
That's how I use my FIFA strategies when I'm building a team on FIFA.
Yeah.
Just give them a big signing bonus. They'll say yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, true.
Yeah.
True.
but I'm just saying the Dodgers are looking pretty. I mean, the Dodgers have what 12 free agents? I think is what the MLBPA put
You
out.
said 12 or
Yeah,
13.
yeah, you
It
said
was
a
12.
lot,
So the MLBPA put out on their Twitter recently that there's 130 players that are free agents, and these are just strictly like people who have already been like taking their player options, club options, whatever. So there's still more to come. Obviously, this was put out about 12:34 p.m. today.
Just about 12:34.
Yeah, just
Not
about.
exactly.
I mean, it
So
was
we're
put
like
out at
12:34 and
12:34,
15
but,
seconds.
Why are you trolling, bro?
Comedic relief over here. My goodness.
Flag, bro. See, on Footy Fridays, that's a yellow card.
That's a red card in my book. Shoot.
Hey man,
Challenge on that.
it's in dunk discussions.
know
it's
about-
just a bunch
It's
of
just the
combative.
shenanigans. It's
We
just
we got a lot of shenanigans going on our podcast.
I mean,
We're
130
we took,
players.
That's
we
a
took
lot.
about 15 minutes talking about the courts today.
Okay, but those courts, I've seen them. They're not great.
No, they're not.
How about
But
that court up in
100
Eugene?
No, we
130.
should have brought that up.
So how
That
many-
would've been a good thing.
So what's? I'm not a good math guy. What's 130 divided by 30? That's like roughly 4.
10.
10?
No, 130
No,
divided by
that's-
30.
No, that's not
130 divided by 30. That's like 3 or
Don't
4,
ask me,
right?
bro.
Something like
So that's
that.
like an average of like
so
3 free
30
agents.
Let's see, let's
30
see.
times 3 is 90. Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
It's about 4.
It's
yeah,
about 4.
It's a little more than 4.
So that's like an average of 4 free agents per team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
think
but-
I remember the Cardinals having one,
But
and I was
yeah,
like,
a
oh, it
bunch of
sucks for
teams
them.
got one. Yeah, he went sucks for them. Didn't they suck this year? I was like,
Yeah,
uh-oh.
they probably want to get
So
rid of
the
those
D-backs,
guys.
they got 3.
What about Yadier Molina? Is he going to be a coach
He's been
anywhere?
oh well.
I think so. I think that's what the talk of the
It should be
town
anyone
is
but
he's trying
Marmol.
to come in
St.
to
Louis?
do some coaching for St. Louis.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
yeah.
but they don't know
He'd be a
where they're
great
gonna
coach.
put him yet. I mean, they got no openings as of right
Is
now.
Marmol
They
still
haven't
there?
Fired him.
They haven't fired Marmol, Oliver Marmol.
I don't think they fired him. I haven't seen anything.
I don't know why they
Could have
haven't.
missed
By,
it. Could've
by
slipped
the
through
way,
cracks, but-
speaking of catchers and like tie this back to the World Series, did you see Pudge? Pudge got pudgy.
He did get
Pudge got
pudgy.
pudgy.
Yeah, you're right. He
Pudge
did.
got pudgy.
It's like,
I love that.
you know what that means, right? Steroids. Damn, that dude. That's what happens, bro.
You can't
do
be
the
you
roids
can't
and-
be throwing the steroid accusation out like that.
Oh, he
Dude, you
did
just
him.
got back-to-back
He
red
did
card or yellow cards in the span of like.
In 2
You're
minutes,
throwing
that's
the
a red
steroid
card, though.
allegation.
So you guys don't think he did steroids?
I
I'm
mean,
not saying I don't think so, but
Okay.
I need to see.
he was a
some
small.
little
Hey,
more-
Okay.
I
See a
I
little
understand your
more.
suspicion. Have you seen his rookie year? He was small, like Barry Bonds was.
Yeah.
He wasn't as
He's
small
trying
as
to,
Barry
he's trying
Bonds.
the Barry
but-
Bonds method, but you know what? Until there's a little more
do you-
definitive
Barry
proof than
Bonds?
just him growing.
What are you
Well,
talking
they
about?
were no. I think that he was on that list. Like there was a bunch of guys. Like they
Wait.
like the MLB did like a whole thing
Yeah,
where
there
they
was a
he's
list.
right,
they
he's
and
drug
I'm
right.
trying to
tested
remember.
everybody,
No, dude.
and then the list was released. And I'll admit, I mean, Big Poppy was on the list. Most
Who's
of the
Big
great
Papi, though?
players in the league at that time were on that list.
They were
And
just-
it was a matter of whether you kept using steroids after that point.
Nah, they were just eating their Wheaties.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking
It was
about.
all that, all those,
Munching, dog.
all those
Leave 'em
GMOs and Wheaties.
But yeah,
So that
I kind of
red
I
dye
want
40,
to
all right? Like, come on now.
It's like all that GMO HGH in the Wheaties.
I want to get back into free agents because there's a few that I
Okay.
want to talk about.
All right.
Obviously, Otani's the big one. We're not going to talk about him because we could talk
I think
about
it's
him.
going.
Everybody
I think
knows- everybody
my
knows
low
Ohtani,
key,
let's
my
be
low
real.
key pick is Seattle. I think I've already said this to you.
You have
guys.
said that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Otani's going to go to Seattle. I want to hear your reasoning on that. I have not heard this take
Just
from you.
following the footsteps of Ichiro, and what from when the Angels made all of their moves late in the season, Seattle did what the Angels were supposed to do.
Okay.
They
That
sold.
makes sense.
They,
You're
they,
right.
the Seattle just became the playoff contending team that the Angels were hoping that they were
No,
going
you're
to
right.
do to display their value to Otani.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's closer to Japan by a little bit, but
a
True.
little bit.
yeah.
No, it's definitely got a influence
No.
in that Seattle culture.
That's
Yeah, no, yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
So-
No, and the Ichiro thing, like.
No, he's
you're
got a
right.
point.
Like that's a good point. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't heard that take from Seattle. I just
It'd be
always
weird
heard,
to
like,
go to
he's
the-
coming
I
'cause
don't know
we
if they
can
have
pay
the
for
money.
him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if they have the money for him, but
True.
Honestly, Seattle. I don't know.
They're gonna have to pay Julio.
yeah.
I know they're gonna have
Imagine
to pay
those
Julio,
two
and
back to
Julio.
back, though, too.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
And that's another question with Otani is like, second elbow surgery. Like, is our team's gonna want to pay him that dual salary?
Oh,
Because if he's getting
definitely
paid
not.
that dual salary, he's getting like what 50-60 million bucks a year.
He's
but
supposed. It was
you
like
don't
if he
know.
was gonna sign a deal, he was gonna get like 500 mil. He was
It was,
supposed to break.
people were
contract
saying north
records.
of 600.
Yeah, but it's,
I heard 500.
Yeah,
But,
but
now with
it's
that
just,
elbow, right now he's only valuable as a hitter.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
think
unless he-
his contract's gonna take a big chunk. Maybe for the first 2 years, if you look at it the way they'll structure it, first 2-3 years, it ain't gonna be that much. But once he starts pitching again,
yeah.
they'll
Like,
bump it.
like
Would
would
it
it
be similar to the Muncie deal?
Yeah.
Would it be possible that Otani doesn't get the paydays that he's expecting in free agency, and he bets on himself, takes a 1-year deal, proves that he can be a starting pitcher again,
Well, he's
and
not
then
gonna.
gets that
That's
10-year
not
deal
Ohtani.
that like
Nah,
Ohtani's
he
you know what
won't
I
do
mean?
that.
Like,
not the one to take
if
a
it's-
Plus, he
1-year
won't.
deal.
He won't be able to prove that he can be a starting pitcher this next season if he signs a 1-year deal.
And he'd have to sign if
'Cause
you're
he's
gonna
only
go
gonna
with
hit
that.
pitch next
He's
year.
not
He's
pitching
only
until
gonna hit.
2025.
Yeah.
What if? Here's another what if. What if
He takes a
what if
2-year
he-
deal.
No. I'm not that stupid. I am stupid, but not that stupid.
Hey, nobody said that.
What if he rebrands himself as a closer? John
Again, he
Smoltz.
won't do that. The thing about Otani is like
Closers are valuable. You get a
They
good
are,
shutdown
No,
but-
he's
closer.
when
You
he's
throw a lot less.
effective. It's when
Closers versus-
he's beating guys throughout the lineup. Like
Yeah.
first time through the lineup, second time he beats hitters. Like every time through the lineup, he's beating them in different ways so that they're seeing different
yeah, and plus
sides
closers,
of his arsenal.
Closers?
Okay.
like historically, do not get paid as much as starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. But
he won't take that kind of price cut because he already knows going into this.
Don't tell Trevor Hoffman that.
Well,
Trying to hype up Josh Hader.
Oh yeah,
guys
you
have
were
seen that
talking about Josh.
I don't know if you've seen the video, you guys.
Let's see. Is that on
we
Twitter?
I think it is, and I think we
Matt,
can
you gotta
show it.
find
Matt,
this.
please
Josh
find that.
Hader.
Trevor Hoffman video.
Oh my gosh.
He's one of
Oh.
the free agents I thought we should talk about just because, I mean, Angels are always going to need relief
But
pitchers.
he can't even survive an inning.
He's better than
anymore.
any of the relief pitchers we got now. Aaron Soup.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Okay,
oh,
Matt,
to
we
the
gotta go full
closer.
screen. Go full screen on
Full
this sucker.
screen it, please.
Can we get volume?
I don't think so, but
Oh, we got no volume.
I don't think you get volume. But just for those of you who don't know, Trevor Hoffman is on this narrating, and I guess what's going on.
Hoffman's the all-time leader
And-
in saves, right?
Mariano Rivera.
Oh,
Mariano
Rivera.
Rivera.
Okay.
Josh Hader, it says right there, Josh Hader and his agent sent this video to all 30 teams before free
There he is.
agency. They're just, I don't.
Eckersley, baby.
Is
My
he
mom
like-
has a huge crush
Do,
on Dennis
so do you
Eckersley.
think Hoffman's like working for him as like a PR front or like he's trying to
I
help
think
this guy
Josh
out? Like
Hader
San Diego
paid whatever
connection.
savings he got
the
left
San
from
Diego
that San
thing.
Diego
Yeah, he's got that
deal.
San Diego connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
hey,
he
they're
paid him whatever he had left in the bank account to get this video made.
are they gonna have to pull out another $50 million loan?
I don't know if you
Oh
guys heard
my
about
god!
that.
Yeah,
San
what is
Diego's
up with
poverty.
that? Okay, so like, isn't their owner supposed to be richer than anything?
Oh,
No.
Apparently not 50 mil.
Steve Cohen's, I think, is the wealthiest owner in all of baseball. The owner of the New
Oh
York
yeah,
Mets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is he worth more than Bomber?
That's a good question. Ballmer's, I don't think
I
so.
think Bomber's like 60, 70 billion.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
not.
with a B, baby.
Yeah, definitely not with
No.
a B. Definitely not.
So
with
what
a
is Steve Cohen rich? How's he rich?
Yahoo.
Nobody knows.
Look that
I'm gonna
up.
look that up.
Yeah, look that up.
I'll get
That's
on it.
actually
I'll get
something.
on it.
That's a
Have-
Jamie,
don't
young
know.
Jamie.
Honestly,
Jamie, pull that
I
up.
don't know.
Jamie, pull
That's
that
a
up.
great question. I feel like we should do it.
Well, he's got so much dough to just
stay
throw
tuned.
around.
Stay tuned for a little
Yeah,
segment.
and it's like,
Stay tuned for
Oh,
a
sorry.
segment. Probably gonna research
We're going
how
to
all
break?
these
Oh.
like for next episode. I'm gonna have a little research
Yeah, Steve
section.
Cohen's.
Producer Kaylee, you're gonna hear her and figure out how all these owners are rich. Where do they get their money from?
that's it. No, like that was something that
'Cause
you know. May
obviously, you
he
think-
not literally rest in peace, but Jake, the old station manager, he actually wanted us to go, me and Beto, to go deep on that last year.
I'm so down to do that. I
Yeah.
kind of want to do it now. I mean, you look at Mark Cuban. Everybody knows how Mark Cuban's rich. Like,
Dude, I had a pitch to remember. So
Internet.
last year, Artie Moreno was like, "Oh, I'm down to sell the Angels." I was like, "Mark Cuban should buy the Angels."
Yeah,
He's like,
baby.
"That's a man who knows how to flip a business," and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that story is always
But
incredible when I hear
Artie
Mark
is,
Cuban.
Although the
not gonna
Mavericks
happen.
haven't been great, they got that one championship.
Meh.
But they're a playoff team. They're respectable.
Dirk.
More, yeah,
Dirk.
they're respectable for sure. Did you look that up, Steve Cohen?
Oh yeah, so he's only worth 20 billion,
Oh,
but
that's
only
it?
worth 20 billion.
20 billion.
Only worth
slouch.
20
I
billion.
didn't realize that.
But no,
They
it
were
said
only-
he just invested in some hedge fund. Nothing fun. Nothing,
Oh yeah,
nothing crazy.
boo.
yeah, yeah. What's it? A
Boo.
bomber was like Microsoft. He like ran
Microsoft.
Microsoft, I think it was. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wild. That's wild. I
The
mean,
Wick.
It's crazy how much-
Grousman or whatever, the Celtics owner. He's like just some trust fund kid that got rich.
hey, what do you guys think?
Not
of,
cool at
what
all.
do you guys think of this stat line? This is probably another one of my favorites. Will Smith, not to be confused with catcher Will Smith, pitcher Will Smith,
Okay.
is the first player in the MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL history to appear in at least one game, regular or postseason, with 3 different championship-winning teams in 3 consecutive
No,
seasons.
he's got 3 straight wins.
He's got
3
three
rings with the
rings.
Braves,
the Braves, the Stros, and now the Rangers.
never lost.
Holy cow.
Danny Green.
Oh,
yeah,
Danny Green
seriously.
he just got cut. He wasn't very happy about that. Man, that's crazy.
Repeat is wild,
What a stud.
right?
Lefty pitcher. Shout out left-handed pitchers.
It's kinda like a-
Speaking of left-handed pitchers,
Clayton Kershaw.
my poor Kershaw has
Uh,
gone under surgery.
This
That
might be it
Skechers-
for him.
Skechers funded
The Skechers. You leave him in his
Surgery.
alone. Yeah, Kershaw went under for a
comedic relief is working right
glenohumeral ligament and capsule surgery to repair his left shoulder. That's his pitching shoulder.
Wait, say that again?
At least it's not his elbow.
Glenohumeral ligaments and capsule of his left shoulder. I don't know where any of that is. Sorry, fans.
No, I mean, what? Just Zach's right. There's no way you come back
Someone
from this.
said
Of course, I
it's
said there's no way Rogers is coming back from this injury, and he's over
Yeah.
here taking snaps. So,
Yeah, that's true.
but
I mean-
then again, in football, they let you take steroids.
It's the,
so-
it's the ayahuasca,
He's
dude.
got the. He's got. What do you mean?
he
He's
went
got
into the
size
darkness.
15 What do you mean, Rogers? He's coming back. He's got them size 15 Adidas right now. You
What is that supposed to mean?
You haven't seen his shoes that he's wearing? He's wearing size 15 Adidas Ultra Boost, so he doesn't put pressure on the Achilles while he's snapping the ball. And
He's going to do whatever he takes.
Size 15? What's his regular shoe size?
14 apparently. He was on the Pat
Oh.
McAfee show.
He has a size 14?
Wow.
It's
Damn,
wild.
that's a big shoe.
Little NFL fact.
I guess he's like pretty big guy. He's probably like what 6'4" or something.
No, he's not that
This is a
big.
scary looking man. That's all I'm
quarterback.
gonna
I
tell you.
bet you he's like 6'2".
You're talking about Aaron? Wait, Aaron Rodgers?
Josh
is
Allen.
scary
Yeah, Aaron
looking?
Rodgers.
He's not scary looking.
No.
Aaron Rodgers looks like he'd be in like an circle at a festival, and they're just like doing sound baths and all
Yeah.
that. Like,
You'd see him at like Coachella.
I mean,
When do the Allman Brothers come on?
Allman Brothers, come on. Hey,
Hey, I heard the Seeger brothers were performing at 1 o'clock, man. Did
Hey.
you see Jerry Garcia?
Not to be confused with Mr. Boss Man Jerry.
Boss
Okay,
Man
so how
Jerry.
tall is Aaron Rodgers? Did you look it up? Oh, I thought you just.
I'm
did
guessing
it.
6'2". I want to ask
Matt, you
Kaylee
got
a
this?
question about
Alright.
some free agents though.
All right.
What do
go
the
for it.
Phillies do with Aaron Nola? How much
They go
money do you
for it.
give him?
I don't remember what his old.
Because you got to
contract was
keep him.
for.
You got to keep him. Him and Wheeler and Nola has been such a 1-2 punch like since they've been together. And
Yeah, no, I
Nola's going to get
definitely see-
paid like he's the number one ace, even though he's technically behind Wheeler. And
Yeah.
Wheeler's getting a bag, but do you think he's going to get...
more than
What's
Wheeler?
Wheeler's contract? Can we pull that up?
Wheeler's contract?
Yeah, what do
Can we pull up
pitchers
Zach
get
Wheeler's
paid?
contract?
What do pitchers get
Right
paid
now,
in Major
what
League
the
Baseball?
Phillies
like
are
a
really
start.
looking for is now that Nola's a free agent. I don't know if you guys know, Rhys Hoskins is also a free agent. He was their first baseman, but
Coming off an
unfortunately
ACL, yeah.
tore his ACL, went under that. That's why Bryce Harper's been playing first basically all season.
5-year, $118 million.
Okay, that's. Do I think Nola gets that?
He just signed that,
This is Zach Wheeler.
but
Yeah.
he
He
just
signed
he just
that-
What, 2 years ago?
2024. No. It doesn't say.
It was, no, I think
I
it was last
forget
year.
what-
I think this is I think he's
I
only
think
a
Zach
year into it.
Wheeler was, yeah, I think
So he's
it was
getting
either a year or
23 and a
two
half.
ago.
He's
Yeah.
getting 23 and a half a year. I mean, that's solid.
So
So I
you got
think
what is it?
Nola-
27 guys.
I think Nola will maybe get a longer contract, but just not as much money.
I
How old is
disagree.
he?
I think he'll get a shorter contract with roughly the
Mm,
same amount of
uh,
money.
How old is he?
Well, because they're gonna want to
Nola
keep him.
is 29, I believe.
Yeah.
See, it's
guess.
it's kind of sketchy with these
Nola's-
baseball contracts when you sign a guy for 13 years, 12 years. It's like
Well,
that
that's
seems
why those
pretty
contracts
excessive,
are
you know? Like,
signed when they're younger, though, to lock them in.
yeah, I mean,
Like for example, I know
Oh, he's
Outman
30.
doesn't have it.
Aaron Nola's
yeah,
30.
he's 30.
Outman doesn't
That was
have
close.
one, but like, cause he's still on his rookie. But like, if they signed Outman for 13 years, Outman's only like 20 something.
right.
So to keep him till like his 30s, I think that's what they did. Mookie, I forgot how old Mookie was when he signed it. He wasn't
It's like
30 yet though.
27,
He was a
probably
little
something like
older,
that. Yeah, he's in late. He's in his prime.
but
And baseball prime's going to your mid 30s.
unless you're like Nelson Cruz or something, playing to your 40, Miggy Cabrera, shout out them though.
Well, it's still not in their prime though. Like Cabrera's prime was when he hit the Triple Crown, right? That was
Yeah.
like
No, even after
7
that,
or
he
8
was
years
still
ago.
kinda-
Dude, he is one of the best hitters of this generation.
Oh
he's
yeah,
still, he
he
still
might.
was
Well,
kicking
I mean,
it this
yeah.
year.
without. Yeah, I guess there's Trout and stuff. See, me like I still take into account batting average. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Miguel
batting average
Cabrera
isn't-
hitting the
The
three
game is
something for
changing,
his-
dude.
It's
I know the
The
changing.
game
is-
is changing.
But like I say, like batting average
It-
is still a very valuable stat, and people who don't think that, like that's not. It's a valuable stat. You got to understand what they're doing in plate appearances.
Can you get on base?
Yeah, can you get on base?
you
I mean,
get on
and
base?
that's like the easiest way to get on base, right?
That's like, one of the main.
And discipline. If you can
like-
sit there and draw walks, like oh my God, who led the league in walks this year? It's the same guy who's always leading the league in walks.
Okay, so
That's
let's break
slipping
this
through
down.
my mind right
now.
Let's break
Rainford.
this down. Let's break this down. Okay, so you got a guy. Okay, for example, the
Juan
game.
Soto, sorry.
The
Finally came
game.
to me.
Okay, Juan Soto is actually a really good example. Juan Soto hits like 250.
Yeah, but he draws walks.
Right. No. Right. So a guy hits 250. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the World Series ended on a strikeout. Right.
Yeah,
Struck out looking.
Yeah.
that was
Right.
bad.
You got to get the bat off the shoulders.
You
Yeah.
got like.
You got
If
it.
you're training guys to hunt for walks and home runs, that situation right there at the end of the game, whether it's the World Series or not, you can't really trust the guy to just put the ball in play and try to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, what
You
are
know
they,
what I mean? Like,
what's it called, Kaylee? The 3 guaranteed outcomes or something? Strikeout, walk, or a home run?
Yeah,
Basically, those are
that-
the only 3 plays that can happen in baseball where the ball doesn't need to be fielded. It's not. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's the
Right.
three. It's
And-
like the three out.
And like,
I-
look,
yeah.
there's no bad hops in a pop up. You know, like you gotta at least, like,
if
if
you
the- if
make
the-
the out making contact, it's so much better than you staring that ball strike three. You're out.
Yeah.
Right,
The
but-
reason I bring it up is recently the game has been trending in that direction where strikeout numbers are up, walks are up, and home runs are up. Batting average is down.
right.
Yeah.
And
But
so
that's
like
what
the
I'm
way
saying,
that game
it's
ended, it's
not
like that's a perfect.
reliable.
Yeah. Like
It's not
it's-
reliable to be reliant on the long ball. That's what I've always
no,
said.
I agree with you.
That's why
Right,
I knew.
and-
Unfortunately, I knew Atlanta wasn't going to go far. They went a little farther. Well, they didn't go. We went the same distance.
They won a
practically.
game. They won one game.
Well,
in that
They won
series.
one game, but I already called it from the start. Atlanta relies so much on their long ball. That's all their producers hit most of the time.
Mhm.
Matt Olson, Acuna, they all go yard. When you subtract long ball out of the equation, it comes down to batting average. Who's getting on base and who continues. That's why them Rangers and the Snakes were so deadly to teams like the Dodgers. Granted, the Dodgers had no pitching. Their hitters just decided not to
Yeah,
collectively
Freddie
Well,
Freeman and
'cause-
Mookie were like
Like
they had
for
one for
27.
27.
Yeah. I mean,
combined between the
they're
two
a bunch
of
of
them.
power hitters. Like you talking about Muncy. Like Muncy's a 200 hitter.
But he's known for
Yeah,
home
he hits
runs.
home. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
And he
It's
draws
okay,
walks.
balance.
Okay,
He
and
gets
like,
on base,
balance.
but yeah, his batting average is it's one of
right.
those outliers. You know
Well,
what I mean?
like-
It's like how is this guy
Okay,
an all-star? But he's
so
hitting
you-
197.
Yeah, right. No, that's it's kind of crazy to me, man. You know, like, and we're talking about the changes that they've made, right?
Mhm.
It's because strikeout, walks, and home runs. It's not that entertaining.
I think the changes
The
have been fantastic.
they've
Like,
been
I
great.
mean,
They've been
attendance
great
has
for
been
the
up
game.
10%, but
Yeah,
the only issue is now viewership on the TV is down significantly.
Well, that was just for the World Series.
That was
For the World
was for the World
yeah,
Series.
but
Like I'm
still,
not.
that's like our biggest games.
Well, it's because of the teams.
Yeah,
It's
coastal
because-
bias.
It's because
There's
of
a
the
coastal
teams, like-
bias that exists, and smaller
mean, I
market
think-
teams aren't going to get as much
Right,
attention.
like so you had those crazy shifts, and they have it all calculated. They got the percentages on where guys hit the ball. So like, of course, batting averages are going to be down, and that makes your only option to get on base and score runs is hitting home runs. You know, so they balanced that out a little bit. Me personally, like I thought that they should allow you to put the shift on for one or two guys in the lineup, and then everybody else you kind of just
I say
Don't
just
do
ban
it.
the shift.
Yeah, I agree.
No kizzy cap.
Get rid of it.
well, like
Hot
make it
take?
so like
Ban the shift.
well, it is banned.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Not
you can't.
fully.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
you
I mean,
gotta
you
stay
can't
on
have
your
you
side
have
of the
to-
infield.
You
have-
can't have
yeah.
three guys on
Well,
one side of the
obviously,
infield.
You can't have three guys
Yeah,
on one side of the
you
infield
should be
now,
able to
but it's
shade.
still-
You should be able to shade left and
I
right.
say just
like-
get rid of it. Like,
So you
not
want to
even
have like
allowed
a
to look.
like a circle, like in like shortstops can be right here.
Like, yeah, like,
Or like-
normally, like how you would normally play without a shift. How shortstops have an area of coverage, second base has the area of coverage, like their range.
But can they shade on one side or the other?
I mean, obviously you can always.
It's kind of a
take
gray
two-
area
it's
at that
really
point.
Gray
Yeah, you know
because
what I
at
mean?
that
Gray
point
area.
it's like,
'Cause
okay,
they- like,
well
if
they
they-
could take two steps over and be like, I'm still technically within my range.
Yeah.
Right.
the
I mean,
issue.
like, so you got two guys on each side of the infield. I think it's fine because personally, I've made this comparison before. Okay, I don't know if y'all remember Adam Dunn.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay, so
Dude.
Adam Dunn, if he played today, would be a legend. Adam Dunn back in the day was not.
no.
Right. And
Jim
so
Tomei.
Jim Thome is a good example too.
dude.
Like Thome hit like 500 home runs though, but these guys they still had to hit into the shift. They shifted for these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that was a part of why they didn't hit for high
I'm
averages.
pretty sure Adam Dunn's got more home runs than Jim Tomei, doesn't he?
No,
No.
absolutely.
I'm
Jim
pretty
Thome
sure.
is
No,
a
he's
Hall
got
of
500.
Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Thome is a Hall of Famer. Where Adam Dunn.
No, you're
I don't
right.
think
I'm,
he-
I'm,
He's
I'm
just
flipping.
kinda-
them
But
back and
but that's the
forth.
thing. Adam Dunn would strike
Same
out 200 times in a season,
Yeah.
and like now you don't even blink about that.
No, you're right.
And it's
You're
just
right.
not entertaining. Like when you we talk about basketball again, like 24-second shot clock saved the game of basketball. Because dudes would get a lead and they just dribble around the court. They have guys chasing them
know,
around,
I feel
and they
like-
just play keep away with the ball, and that's kind of like
Pitch clocks help. The bigger
That's-
bases
yeah.
have helped.
yeah.
As stupid as
new
it
stuff-
And the
sounds.
shifts too. The shit.
Yeah.
Like guys hitting, being able to get a hit when they, like instead of a guy playing rover in right center or whatever,
Absolutely, yeah.
like you get a nice little
I mean,
base hit
I
in
know a
front of
lot
them.
of people. That's like the new rules of baseball are so controversial within like the fans now because everybody's like, oh, the pitch clock, oh this, but the pitch clock ultimately saved it. I mean, those pitchers were taken. I think it was 1 to 2 minutes between pitches, like
Crazy.
fully, to throw people off, and it was like the game sped up. I think it's about 30 minutes shorter now.
Yeah.
I think is what the statistic was because the game
Yeah,
was like
I think a
what,
little
2
more than that.
hours.
There was only 9 games that were over 3.5 hours, whereas in this season,
So,
2023, whereas the
But
3
those were
seasons
overtime
before,
games.
yeah,
And now with the new pitch clock, they're like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at most.
it's like 2 hours 20 minutes roughly.
2 hours. Yeah.
so,
Yeah, and like, but they were averaging around 3 hours last year.
yeah, which is crazy. Like, don't get me wrong, I could sit there and watch it, but I know people who are like 3 hours. Yeah, you're nuts. Like,
Well, it also adds to offense.
Yeah.
So like it's like imagine going to the gym, and you lift like the heaviest weight you can lift, right? And then you put it down and rest for 2 minutes, and then you do one more rep, right?
yeah,
Instead of having 20 seconds in between those reps,
Yeah.
like it's harder for guys to throw harder consistently when you don't have as much time to recover in between pitches.
yeah.
So velocity, like a lot of guys, they can still throw mid like 95 to 98. There's still quite a few guys that can do that, but there are less guys hitting 100 miles an hour this season than in previous years.
Yeah.
Of course,
So-
Aroldis Chapman just threw 104
All right,
and picked some
Aroldis-
guy in the leg,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah,
you
dude.
want
Did you
the-
see the
that
bruise?
was
Did you see the picture of the
painful.
bruise?
that
No, I
was
just saw the
nasty.
highlight of it, and I
It
was
was
like,
nasty.
I would probably
But
just go
you know
home.
who is slept on, who also throws super hard, even
Yeah.
without the pitch clock and stuff, is Brewstar Gratterall on the Dodgers. That dude
Oh,
is
Brewstar.
consistently throwing 99
Yeah.
to
Same
100.
with Yohan Duran.
Great
Duran
hair
too.
too. He has great head of hair.
Like,
Some lettuce.
Yeah,
He's got some
does.
like,
lettuce.
it's ridiculous. I mean, just to think like that would happen. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, so we got Adam Dunn stats.
He had
Let's
462.
flash those
That's pretty
60.
impressive.
462.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Where?
Right there.
462.
Dude, so
is
I will never
wild.
forget. I was in San Francisco in 2011.
Oh, 406. I thought you were talking about batting average for a second.
No.
There's no way. Adam
No,
Dunn.
no,
And no way,
no.
Adam Dunn.
No,
had a
that's way
462.
more than I thought he
I'm
did.
telling you, no, this
That's way
dude
more
could
than I
swing
thought he
it,
did.
but it's not as you're right. It's not
Yeah.
as much as Tomei. Tomei had over
Tomei,
600.
Oh, there we go.
612.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I'll never
612, yeah.
forget. I was in San Francisco in 2011, and this is when Dunn was on the White Sox, and they were playing the Giants. It was a day game. Went with my grandparents, my brother. It was a beautiful day, and the Giants won. But it was 6-1. The only run in the game for the White Sox. Solo home run from Adam Dunn.
Dun, dun,
500 something yards into McCovey Cove.
I
It's
love
Like,
that.
ridiculous.
he
Adam
hit
Dunn-
a
Adam
nuke.
Dunn could swing
And
it.
they don't count it for road teams, like the splash hits. They only count Giants players. But
Okay.
that was one of the farthest home runs that was probably ever hit in that stadium. Like the where it landed in the bay
Ridiculous.
was like over where the kayakers
Hey,
hang
man,
out.
That's
I
Adam
mean,
Dunn for you. I mean,
it
I
was
don't
the
think
farthest
people,
home run I've ever seen.
I don't think people understand Adam Dunn, but I want to know. Okay,
Yeah, he dropped bombs. He did.
Yeah,
drop
dude.
bombs, yeah.
He's a cult player. Oh,
since the season's over now, okay, right now
What do you got on there?
the Silver Slugger Awards.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what do you mean what I got?
Well, because you've been refreshing it
hey,
for
let
like
her
a half
cook,
hour.
bro.
I was like,
Let her
Wait a
cook.
Let me cook real quick.
She's
Dang,
cooking with
Danny.
gas.
Okay, cooking with gas. About to be an explosion because I can't cook. All right. MLB Silver Slugger Awards.
What a segue into a segment right there. I can't cook. Here's my segment.
Here we go, guys.
I'm cooking with gas, but be
See,
careful.
I could cook behind the screen.
Have
There
the
you go.
extinguisher ready.
No, okay, what we got going?
So MLB Silver Slugger finalists, they were announced.
Okay.
And I want to hear who you guys think.
You're gonna have to
Just
list them
like-
off for me because
Well,
off the top of
obviously,
my head.
I got them listed. I'll
Oh,
name
she
'em.
came
Okay,
with the
I'm
receipts.
prepared. I got them for both leagues. All right, so we're gonna start with National League.
All
Okay.
right.
So we got William Contreras, Sean Murphy, JT Realmuto, and Will Smith. Catchers.
Wait, so there's
Silver
four,
Slugger is
there's
only
four,
offense.
Four
Yeah.
Silver Sluggers?
No,
The
you
finalists,
name
Oh,
pick
the
one.
finalists.
One.
You
Oh,
pick
oh,
one.
So out
okay.
of like four, outfield gets a little bigger. It just
Okay,
depends.
okay. So Will Smith, Rio Muto,
Contreras and Murphy.
and Murphy. Oh, I don't know who Murphy is, but I will say that I know Rio Muto is a pretty damn good hitter.
I think Real Muto is probably going to be the winner of that.
Yeah.
Really? Out of
Sean Murphy did have a really good season,
Who's he
and
play
Will
for?
Smith, Sean Murphy,
Yeah.
the Braves.
Oh, okay.
Real Muto is the Phillies catcher. I'm taking Real Muto.
I thought
He was on my
Darno
fantasy
the-
team
I
this
thought
year.
Darno was the Braves.
Oh,
I know he
bias,
scored.
boo.
No, he scored points. I know he had a good season. Real Muto, my Silver Slugger.
I thought Darno was the catcher for the Braves.
They
He's a
s-
backup.
he's-
Oh,
is
now
he?
he's on. Is he still there?
He's still on the Braves, pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
No,
so-
Sean Murphy. They got him
Sean
from.
Murphy,
They got him
they
from
got him,
the Oakland Athletics, just
Yeah.
like
Oh.
everyone.
Just
No
like
kidding.
they
That's where everyone
picked
gets their
up
players.
Chapman.
Yeah.
Poor
The farm
yeah,
team.
Hey, Chapman's
Farm
a
team.
beast. Shut-
And
Okay.
then first
okay.
base,
Who
I already know
or
who
not
the top.
Chapman.
Who was it?
Well, they haven't
Oh wait,
announced it
they
yet.
have. Oh, these are just the finalists.
These are the
Yeah,
Oh,
these are
okay.
the finalists.
I already
So,
know who the top two for first base. It's gonna be Matt Olson and Freddie Freeman.
Wait, who do you think's
Yeah.
gonna win? Catcher.
You know, it's between Realmuto and Smith. I mean, Smith had a fantastic
Smith did have a
season.
good year.
He's always just a consistent. I mean, dude, his first season, like in the majors, he was ranked like number 2 catcher, right behind Realmuto. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I think Romuto, just to be safe, I know he went off this season, but a little hot take, I'd probably take Smith, and that's a little bit biased.
That's not even a hot take. It's biased, but it's not a hot take.
So
Okay.
first base, you got Alonso, Freeman, and Matt Olson, and I'm gonna go Freeman. I mean, Freeman was explosive.
He hit for average. He hit for OPS or slugging
doubles,
percentage.
all
Like
of that. He was hitting everything. Matt Olson was just kind of bombs away. That was it.
What do you end up with, like 55 or something like that?
54 home runs.
54.
130 something RBIs. But Freeman had like 50 something doubles. He hit
Yeah.
over three. What did he hit? 320.
Something like that.
I guess this boils down to what do the voters care about? you
I think
know?
it's gonna be
the
Freddie Freeman.
traditional
They're gonna
batting
care-
average, or are they looking
the
at just
Silver
power numbers?
Slugger- Silver Slugger is like a mix of everything. It's just the ultimate hitting award.
I mean, I'll go Freeman. I love Freeman. You know, like I already said, batting average is my thing. I feel like voters are leaning more towards the power numbers,
We'll
but
see.
I think it's Freeman, without
Yeah.
a doubt.
I agree. I
mean,
think it's
Freddie freaking Freeman.
so then we got Ozzy Albies, Luis Arez, and Ketel Marte. I'm probably going to take Marte on that. I mean, for second base,
That's just based off of postseason play, right?
no, the Silver Slugger's like.
No,
the
I know,
entire-
but that's why you're
No,
voting
they-
for
Oh,
Marte, because
Marte.
Marte got really hot in the postseason.
It's
'cause-
He
just a
got hot in
regular
the
season award, though,
postseason.
right? It's just a regular season
Well,
award,
they could
right?
also take in factor if you went to postseason or not and use those numbers.
I like
as well.
Arias, dude. Arias,
Yeah.
at one point,
Arias
Arias.
is I'm not gonna lie, it's really between for me Arias and Marte, but
I don't see how you don't give it to Arias.
But I don't know.
He kind of like woke up
But
the baseball world with that.
Who's got the highest slugging percentage of all
run.
those
out of
teams
all,
or all those players? What was it?
it's
Albies.
Albies, Arias, and Marte.
Marte's got the highest slug out of all of them. I bet.
Arias
I could
actually-
see him giving it to Marte actually.
I'll just
Because
go with
he's got a
Arias.
higher slug than both Albies.
Yeah.
And Albies has had a good year and he played a lot of games,
but
but
not Silver Slugger level, I don't think.
he's the third. I like
If we were
Marte
ranking
or
them,
the other one.
Yeah,
Arias.
Albies is solid third.
Arias
Sorry,
finished
Albies.
hitting like 340, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
he had he won the NL batting title. I don't think
Well-
I think it would be if shambles. The voting system would be in shambles if the NL batting title winner doesn't win Silver Slugger
Yeah.
Right, unless
for his position.
you're right, unless he was hitting like 295 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where like you can
It was
kinda
a
look
low
over
average
that.
for that
right.
year,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I get you.
But no, he was. I mean, yeah, he was the buzz of the sports world for a while.
Yeah.
Arias,
It was.
it
Yeah,
was
he brought
ridiculously
attention to baseball for people that wouldn't even cared.
I mean, all right, let's move on to shortstop. This is where it gets a little interesting. You got Bogarts, Lindor, Swanson, and Turner. Now, Turner had that little stint where he was, injury, and then was just a little
Just
cold.
He
Playing
was
bad.
slumping,
Yeah, he just was
Then
not.
he got that standing ovation.
Then he got the ovation, and then really kicked it into gear.
So it's like the last 2 months he was hotter than fish grease.
Well, he was hot in the beginning, and then he went out on injury for a little while, came back, was kind of cold, and then straight back to pumping gas again.
I think
Yeah.
the second half of his season might have saved it for him, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, I think that was gonna be my pick with
Yeah.
Swanson. He was hot.
One of my favorite players in the league.
I'll go with Swanson. I mean, he's a
He's
good hitter.
handsome as
I don't know his
heck,
numbers
no,
or anything, but
yeah,
Shout
he's a
out.
good looking
No,
dude.
I'm always
He's a
saying-
good looking dude.
oh, okay.
He's a good looking dude.
So funny. Dude. No, it's like
Hey, I'm just being honest. We're
my,
real here,
My
bro.
grandma, let her rest in peace. She would she loved her some Manny Ramirez.
Oh.
She would just every
Manny
time
Ramirez broke my 6-year-old heart,
every
man.
time his name was brought up, she's like, it's a good looking fellow.
Good looking fellow.
Good looking fellow.
Grandma Danny, man. Grammy Danny. May she rest
Pixie.
in peace.
Yeah,
Pixie.
I'm gonna go Dansby for shortstop.
Yeah, I'll go Danzy too.
All
Sure,
right,
why
so
not?
unanimous Dansby vote. Okay, third base. This is where it gets interesting. Arenado, Machado, Muncy, Riley.
Austin Riley. It's gotta be Austin Riley.
Austin
Yeah,
Riley.
It's gotta be Austin Riley.
Bravos. Yeah, let's go.
I might
Austin
be,
Riley,
dude.
sure.
Talking about Nolan Arenado real quick. It was the first year.
You're not gonna vote
He
for
fell
Muncy?
off,
Your
dude.
boy
He's not even gonna win Gold Glove.
That's
there's
what I was
people
gonna say.
saying.
He's not winning Gold Glove for the first time
Yeah.
at that third base position. Like what? Since he
8
joined
years.
the league or something like
8 or
that. It was
9 years.
ridiculous.
El Toro High School.
What was Machado's
Right?
numbers this year? Did
He did good.
He
he
did
usually
good.
hits around
He was an
300 or
MVP
something like
candidate.
that. Oh, was he?
For a little bit,
Oh.
not
For a
for
bit.
too long.
Oh, okay.
He had pretty much like an average Machado season.
Machado like
Nothing
you. Yeah.
like a
Austin
short
Riley's
hit,
gonna win it.
but
Austin Riley was a
Austin
great
Riley
player.
just popped off.
He was
I mean, as
consistent.
much as I would want to vote Muncy just struggled.
It's
Like the
that average.
Dodgers offense, just they have their moments where they're hot and then they're cold, and it's been a fundamental problem for years now. Like
Muncy reminds me of some guy that just killed it in the beer league, and they're just
And they're
like he
just
just
like,
got
oh,
his shot.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. He's
Like
like
that.
the he's like the 6th-year senior on the dirt bags.
Yeah, sixth year senior.
Or it's like
He's got like
did you
8 years of
You ever
eligibility.
heard that story about how they got James Harrison?
He's like the
Bill
Stinson
Cowher was
Bennett.
driving down the street. And
Uh-uh.
there was a football game going on at a park,
Mm-mm.
and just James Harrison was lighting
Yep.
people up.
Yep.
And he pulls over and he talks to him. He has him go onto the practice squad, and
Wow.
Yeah.
that's like
Hey,
Max
Muncie-
Muncy.
Muncie's
Max
like-
Muncy's playing slope
Max
in
Muncy-
softball or
nukes.
something like. They're like, did I just hit it that far?
Crushing
Hey,
tall
I'm telling
boys.
you.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
I'm telling you, Muncie's like the Stinson Bennett.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stinson Bennett right there, dude.
like that.
Had like 40 years of eligibility. I'm like, dude, you're like 30.
He's really using that
How the
COVID
wife and
year.
kids going? Like, what
It's
are you
like
doing
that.
in
There's like that
college?
tight end for Miami, University of Miami,
Oh.
Cam McCormick. He's got 9 years of. He's on his 9th year of eligibility. He started at Oregon, and then he went to like Utah, maybe not Utah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just
his
He
story.
played for like
Red
3
shirt.
different colleges, but he was at Oregon for a few years. He just kept getting injured in the COVID year. He's got 9 years of eligibility,
Right.
so that's like Max Muncy.
Oh
Yeah,
my
all
God.
right, we got to speed round it. We got to,
All right,
because we
let's
still
go to
got the
outfield.
AL.
Okay.
Outfield, you got Acuna, Bellinger, Betts, Carroll, Schwarber, Soto, Suzuki. Obviously, Acuna's going to get it. Acuna's got to be
Belly's
one.
got to get it.
Yeah, Billy
Belly's
had
got to
a
get
great
one
year.
again.
Schwarber.
I'm going to go Carroll.
Schwarber?
Corbin
Corbin
Carroll,
Carroll
yeah.
to round out the third.
Yeah.
Corbin Carroll.
Absolutely.
I
As
think that's
much
a
as,
unanimous
like,
3 right
Rookie
there.
of the year too, right?
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah, it's those 3 for sure. I mean, Schwarber was electric in the postseason. Regular season, he was doing some things, but nothing compared
be.
to
No,
those
I like
3.
those 3.
I mean, it's like a
Betts.
Muncie thing. It's a 220 hitter,
Yeah.
250, like
no,
whatever.
Betts-
Carroll is definitely deserving
Betts
of it.
and Soto and Suzuki just were having their normal kind of seasons. I think Betts.
Betts
having a
Wait,
good
Seiya
season.
Suzuki?
Betts was in the
Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah.
MVP convo late in the year, but
But it just it.
Acuna's getting it.
But it's Acuna. Acuna just had like one of the most Acuna's
40,
getting
70.
MVP, and now he's gonna take like Silver Slugger. And if he doesn't, we riot.
We right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to speed
Bellinger's-
run AL.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, we're good. Bellinger's got to get it, and then
He is gonna
Carroll.
get it.
So then DH, you got Harper, Martinez, Ozuna, and Soler. I gotta say Harper. Maybe no, actually, you know what?
JD Martinez.
I gotta go Martinez.
Yeah, Harper
Oh.
didn't
I
play
just
enough
remembered
games. Harper didn't play enough
Oh
games.
yeah, Harper had that hand
He was
injury.
out for a lot.
I just
Yeah.
yeah.
And
it's
JD has
gotta
been
be
killing it all
JD,
year. It's gonna
dude,
I love me some
especially
JD
late in the
Martinez.
year.
He's a
Forget it.
big
Let's
Jonas
do it.
Brothers fan. We were talking about
Oh, yeah,
Kirsten
that's
Watson.
Watson.
Yeah, she told me that JD is a huge Joe bro.
Yeah, no, JD was electric for us. He was electric for us. I'm so glad we made that pickup.
Yeah.
Let's see, utility. For some reason, Bellinger is listed twice, so I guess Bellinger.
He's gonna come on with
he
2
is a
silver
utility
sluggers. I
player.
guess.
I
Two.
mean, yeah.
Betts as well. Oh, that's right, because Betts had stints in right field and second base.
Second
Yeah,
base.
I think
There's
Fitz
his
was
silver
shortstop.
slugger.
He
He's
played-
deserving of
So
one.
Betts gets one in the utility category out of Hae-Sung Kim, Spencer Steer, Bellinger. I think.
Spencer
in the
Steer had a
utility,
really nice year.
But I
Shout out
think it's
to
gonna
University
go-
of Oregon.
I think it's gonna go
Another
to
duck.
Betts for real though.
Hey, they don't produce a lot of ball players, but
Quack,
Spencer
quack.
Steer, that dude can ball.
Alright.
That Cincinnati Reds team, side tangent, they're gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah. All right. Speedrun American League. We got catchers Salvi Perez, Cal Ray, and Adley Rutschman. It's got to go to Rutschman.
Adley,
It's got to go to Rutschman.
Adley,
Orioles, baby. Let's go.
baby birds.
Baby birds. First base.
Great hats.
Casas, Diaz, Lau, and Torkelson.
It's got to be Yandy Diaz.
Diaz, yeah.
It's got to be Yandy Diaz for the
What,
Tampa Bay.
Torkelson? Yeah.
Torque.
Yeah, who the?
That was
who's-
my
I
first
don't even know who
diamond in
Torkelson
MLB
is.
show.
Torkelson, dude.
I know
Torkelson's
Yandy
my
Diaz,
age,
yeah.
man. He's a 24-year-old.
Dude, if you ever see a picture,
Stud.
I want you guys to
Let's
know.
see,
Okay,
what-
Torkelson is Zach's age. He's like 24. Dude looks 50.
He looks 44 with like a 401k.
Dude's got
Two
a wife,
kids.
3 kids. Like,
Yeah.
He
Poor
shows
guy.
up to work with a briefcase. He doesn't
He
have an
wears a suit
athletic
and a
bag. He
tie,
just has like a
just
leather briefcase.
Sorry, Torkelson. We love you.
The
You were my
torque.
first diamond in MLB The Show 22,
There you
23.
go.
So,
There you go.
all right, first base.
Anyone
got-
but Altuve. Oh, sorry.
we already did first base. Lamau.
Yeah.
Second, we got Drury, Semien, and Torres.
Ooh, Drury. Shout out Angels. He had a really nice year.
He
I hope
did.
he pulls it off. I don't think people realize how good
No,
he was.
good.
Yeah, I'm going Drury.
I mean, maybe just recency bias. So I'll just go Semyon.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Drury. I'm sticking with my
Drury
pick.
had a good season. Semien had. I'm gonna go Semien. Semien
That's a
played.
that's a coin flip.
Semien played all
Yeah.
169 regular season plus the 10 games of the postseason.
Oh, that's
did,
right.
yeah.
179 games, right?
So
True.
I'm gonna go Semien because
Okay.
Semien's got good numbers. All right, shortstop. I already know who this is going to. Crawford, Seager, Bobby Witt Jr. It's going to my boy Seager.
Yep.
Seager.
Without a doubt.
The Seager brothers. All right, third
Crawford,
base.
Lakewood High School.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you're
right.
right.
Yeah,
Crawford,
PJ Crawford, yeah.
Crawford's a local. Third base, Alex Bregman, Rafael Devers, Isaac Perderez, and J Ram.
It's either J-Ram or Devi.
I kind of want to go J-Ram just for the little.
I think it's gonna be
giggles.
Devers. Devers quietly put together a really nice year. He probably has
did.
the highest OPS out of all four of those players.
I think
so
he did.
I think I'm gonna go Devers.
I think he did. I think.
I
yeah.
love J-Ram though. He's one of my favorite
I
players.
want to go J-Ram just because
He clocked Tim Anderson.
Yep, just because the Tim Anderson thing for the
Down goes Anderson.
that was pretty damn epic, dude.
Oh man.
It's
Dude,
fun at the beginning
who
of
was
the.
it? Who was the player? There's one player that witnessed that and the Bautista situation.
Rugnet Odor.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
Rugnet
Rugnet
Odor. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
He was on both teams.
Dude just walks around with bad mojo every time he steps foot on the field.
man.
Rufino Odor's a curse.
Well, Odor was the one that socked him, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought at the
Iconic.
beginning at the beginning of that Anderson fight, I thought Anderson popped him a couple times.
No, dude, it was just
Yeah,
a one.
he was just weaving.
bam.
Well, he looked like he put a couple swings on him, like he knew what he was doing. I was like, oh
Same
shit!
thing
And then
with
all of a
Bautista.
sudden it was just like,
Bautista took that one swing,
wow,
miss,
it was
and
like a
Odor
club
just
over
came
the
in
top.
and went boom, out. It was crazy.
no, Batista didn't have a clue
All right.
that was
Who do we
coming.
have in the
Realistically-
outfield real quick?
Realistically, Devers.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Devers, sure.
So outfield, you got Arozarena, Garcia, Judge, Robert Jr., Rodriguez, Santander, and Tucker. Definitely the two that stick out immediately, Rodriguez and Garcia.
Yeah, and then the first one you said,
And Arozarena.
Rosarena. Yeah, I think those three.
So just,
Because
yeah.
Kyle Tucker had a pretty down year.
Aaron Judge, I knew the
No.
hype was not real.
Right.
For people that I know probably watching, and you guys are telling me, no, MVP, not an MVP. I knew he was going to go back on injury as soon as he had that MVP caliber season.
And you
just
can
in the
blame
nature
Dodger
of
Stadium's
Judge.
right field wall for his injury, his turf
Oh.
toe.
Yeah.
Tee-hee.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Rosarena, Garcia, and Rodriguez.
All right,
Who,
DH.
who's the other option?
Out of all of them?
Yeah.
Arozarena, Garcia, Judge, Robert Jr., Rodriguez, Santander, and Tucker.
Okay. Didn't that guy Roberts Jr. have a good year too, or no?
He did, but he got hurt, and he also played for the White Sox.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, it just doesn't
White
count.
Sox bias. Southside bias, my bad.
All right.
DH, Alvarez or Otani? It's got to go Otani.
Otani, no doubt.
Of course, it's
No.
Alvarez had a
Ohtani.
great postseason, but he was also hurt in the regular season, so
So
gotta go
it's got to
Otani.
be Otani.
All right,
And then
we're gonna have to come
utility?
back. We're gonna keep the receipts and see if we were right on
I
most
know,
of these.
right? You guys are going to guess come in. It's going to be like 5 of us in here. All right, Brandon Drury, Gunnar Henderson, Isaac Paredes, and Whit Merrifield for utility.
It's a coin flip. You can go into any of them.
I think I was going to go Whit. Man,
Going with the
actually,
youngster whip.
Paredes had a nice season.
but Henderson too.
Yeah, so did Gunner, but he didn't start the year with them, did he? Didn't they call him up?
Oh, that's right. But obviously he's eligible. I mean, to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, Drury's we already established.
Let's
if he
just
doesn't
give it to
get-
the
if-
Halo. 2 Halos with Silver Sluggers, baby.
That's
Well,
the
it'd be
same
the same one.
It'd be the same.
No, Otani and
Oh, that's true. You're right.
well,
All right.
yeah.
All right,
Alright.
forget he's still technically a Halo.
You're already thinking.
I'm
in
already
Dodger.
thinking
You
blue.
can already see him in Dodger blue. We know you already see him in Dodger
My
blue.
bad.
All right.
But Brandon, if he doesn't,
I like
if
it,
Drury
though.
doesn't win second base and it goes to Semyon, then I could see Drury taking it in utility.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's
Not
what
much
it
more
would
to
do.
that.
Yeah.
well, that is it for us today.
What was
Our
this show called
our
again?
installment of
Around the-
Around the
installment.
Bases.
Yes.
I hope you liked it, because the next time Garrett and Bruce aren't here, I get to do this again. So
And she knows what she's doing.
I
so
do know what I'm doing.
Watch out.
Watch out, watch out. Well, that's it from here on Around the Bases. You can follow the socials, 22 West LB.
Download the app.
22 West
Sorry, that was loud.
Sports LB on Instagram. You have 22 West LB on X or Twitter, whatever you prefer to go by.
X.
Download the new 22 West app.
It's so annoying that they still say formerly Twitter when you're reading it. It's like, we know.
Yeah.
I've been your host, Kaylee, joined by interim Garrett and Bruce,
We never
a.k.a.
told my
Daniel
name.
and Zach.
Yeah.
So,
Dunk
Thank you.
discussions
Says it on-
and Footy Fridays.
so
That's right.
tune in, not next week because there's no shows next week, Veterans Day. Shout out all veterans. Thank you for your service.
Thank
and
you.
we will catch you the following week. Peace out.
I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing it stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business, I'm comfortable chilling. Other than that, I'm not posting a minute. Run me the bag or run away quickly. Crunch time, my time times not to be wasted. Win, lose, draw, I am not playing. In my lane, out the way is the safest. Be consistent, there's no credit in phases. Keep on working, we gon' see where it takes us. Life's a marathon, why aren't you pacing? All that sprinting, taking too many breaks is compromising your position, advancing. Real life, you get so many chances. You can't leave trying to find out the answers. We've been moving around without GPS's. We've been growing without all them enhancements. Learn quick, out here making connections. Everybody don't do what they be saying. That's why my team's who I spend day to day with. It's on us when I gotta get to it. I got the time, but I gotta get moving. I don't have time to be playing with you. This is no time to be playing, it's stupid. Could be the difference from winning and losing. Could be the difference from hundreds or millions. If we do business